Views expressed in this podcast are for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect any affiliated organizations. Listener discretion is advised.
Episode 8, by the way. This is episode 8.
Episode 8.
Not 5, not 7, not 23.
Not
episode
6, part 2.
8. Welcome to episode 8 of No Safe Words. We are Mo, Wiz, and Scotty. If you liked the video, please subscribe. So how was your week?
Oh my god, I had a anyone do anything exciting? Anything exciting recorded?
I just got done with swim lessons with my girls.
Oh,
that
nice.
was fun, sort of. You know, the oldest is like, it's crazy. The younger one, she just dives in. She's like, yeah, I'll drown. Sure. The oldest is like clinging on for dear life. I'm sure like under my shirt, I got like scratches and bruises all over my freaking body. It's ridiculous. She's like, no, don't let go. And I'm like, geez. But
Well,
that was fun.
You figure the younger one is more recently out of the womb, so, you know.
Yeah, but also she hasn't like learned fear yet. I think the older one has learned a little bit of fear. Like she's fallen down the steps.
Ouch.
All the way down. Oh,
Ouch.
Yeah. That was a whole saga. But I also did this like jury trial experience last night with my wife. We went out, and the Karen Reed trial was going on, so I was like, yeah, this will be cool. Let's go watch like a murder trial. Like it was kind of a murder trial, but it was like this whole question of like the self-driving cars. So quick note, I didn't realize that they considered it AI for what drives the self-driving cars. Did you know that it's considered AI?
It's autonomy, right? So
I mean, it's an autonomous vehicle. I never heard it called AI. Did you ever hear that?
I mean, I haven't heard it called AI. I just assumed it was AI.
Yeah, all right. Mo, did you know it was AI?
Well, yeah, because it's processing the stuff in real time. It's taking in what it's getting, and it's making decisions based off of what it's seeing automated.
Yeah, but I thought those were like programmed decisions, not like...
No, it's making decisions based on what it sees.
like,
that's why they do those tests with like, going down the road. And what's that guy, Mark Robles? He did some tests with Teslas and then having like a wall, and then the fact that it's supposed to see like a kid behind it, and then like it just plowed through the styrofoam wall. And then it was making a argument for LiDAR versus whatever Tesla uses.
I heard that's all clickbait. I heard it's all clickbait. He uses the watered down autonomous driving features where you're supposed
that video was staged. It came
like
out that it was
3.
staged.
Yeah, and he was getting paid by the LiDAR people.
I believe it.
Which is messed up, dude. That is like pure misinformation. That's crazy.
So I know we're going off a tangent here, but like, can't LiDAR be held accountable and sued? Right? He could be sued for defamation of character.
He could.
I mean, because like at the end of the day,
I thought there was a suit.
Tesla. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's credibility, right? Mm-hmm. So you're bringing down the credibility of Tesla.
Yeah. And
LiDAR is funding this.
Yeah.
So LiDAR has to also be held accountable.
But I think technically on the video, he didn't say he was using full self-driving. Like on the video, he said we're using Tesla's automated driving, whatever, some other word, right? So he didn't call out full self-driving. So that way, and then in the description, which who reads the whole description on a video, right? In the description, it says we used a Tesla, this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that way, like, then he can't really be held liable because it's like, well, it's not false advertisement. Look, I said it in the description, and I didn't say full self-driving on the
So
camera.
Reading the fine print.
Yeah.
That's also a topic in my later conversation for you guys. You're going to love this one.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's jury experience. If you're in the area, it's in Media, Pennsylvania. I liked it. The whole thing was somebody, a biker on the side of the road got killed by a self-driving car in California. And they're trying to figure out, like, should the CEO be held accountable? And like he did some shady stuff, but he met like the requirements of the law kind of thing. And then like there were like votes throughout the whole show. So it was like, at first, after just reading opening arguments, who thinks he's guilty or not guilty, right? And then second, they asked some question like, which question should we ask this plaintiff or the witness, right? And then at the end, after the closing arguments, guilty, not guilty, there was like another question in there somewhere. I forget what it was, but I thought it was pretty good. One of the actresses is pretty young. Like most of them look kind of seasoned actresses. But this one actress, she looked pretty young and she like fumbled up some things. She said some things. I was like, math is not math in here. She was like, "Oh, the car, it takes 500 feet for people to make these decisions, but the car got back into its lane in 800 feet. So see, that's a reasonable." I was like, "That's double almost." Like, what do you mean? Like,
unless she's
I think
making...
she meant to swap them. That is 800 feet that you need to make a decision, and 500 feet was when it got back into the lane. So it was, it's whatever. This is like a small town theater. In Media, PA, so like production wasn't great. It was kind of just like but it was a good experience all in all, and it sparked some questions. Like Magda and I had some conversations on the way back, so it was overall pretty good.
That's fun.
That's
a fun date night.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Different than just watching a movie or something.
Yeah, sparks conversations. Because when you watch a movie, you don't take anything from it.
Yeah, it's just you're just dumbing and zoning out to, oh, crazy shit's happening. This is cool.
I watched 28 Years Later, and I got some more. I got some deeper thoughts about it this time.
Did you really watch it again?
Yeah. Magda wanted to go see it, so.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah,
we watched it again.
Yeah, we both took Friday off, and I was like, "You want to go watch a movie?" And she was like, "Sure." And I was expecting to go see a movie I hadn't seen already, and I was like, "Oh, good, I could talk about it on the pod." But she was like, "No, I want to go see 28 Years Later," and that's what we had to go do.
Did you have takeaways from it?
I mean, I think I just realized more so throughout the entire film that like Jimmy was everywhere. So like I knew there were like things carved into that upside down zombie. Right? And I was like, what does that say? Like limey? I thought it said limey, like, because that's a term from that area, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, limey? What is that? And it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's Jimmy. And then it's like, he's going to come. There's like this whole like words on the side of this farm that's like, he will come and he will judge. And or he is here, and then it says Jimmy.
Yep, Jimmy was just all over the place.
I mean, I realized that at first, like the first time I ran through it, I was like, "That's weird." Okay, somebody tagged it. I was like, somebody tagged the farm, but like that's Jimmy tagging.
That's
the farm,
kid. That's
right?
Jimmy. At the end. Well, I'm assuming it's at the end of the.
Oh, he says he's Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy at the end of the
Jimmy's
show.
brother, the singer.
So that was pretty cool. But there were some other things too, but nothing of
cool
right now.
Fun.
Yeah,
Mo.
Nothing much here. Busy with work. I'm going to see Brand New tonight. So
nice.
Yeah.
Brand New.
Yeah.
Nice.
The band.
Oh, Brand New, the band. I never heard of them.
Yeah, you have.
I'm not good with band names.
I'm fairly certain that's the kind of music that you would be into.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what would you say, Yellow Card or...
Yellow Card.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Ocean's Avenue?
Nope.
Okay.
Wait,
right.
Is that a song?
How old are you again, Scotty?
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard that song name.
Yeah.
I'm
fairly certain.
I'm like a year younger than you.
And like
35.
Exactly. So like you should know this.
36 in November. No. Like I've heard. Like I'm just bad with band names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm bad with a lot of things because my mind doesn't think that it's important information to retain, so I just dump it.
Yeah.
Does that for real? That's how.
Yes, I mean like
he's got limited capacity.
I assume that's how 30 years of observing the way my mind works. I assume that that's what my mind does. Like there are things that I remember that are important, and then there are like I can't remember player names on teams. I can't remember like band names, movie names sometimes, like show names. Well, show names I watch how many episodes, but like that shit just gets dumped for me anyway.
You know what I'm bad at remembering? Like quotes from movies and things
me
like
too.
other people are like have all these pop culture references and they like can pull up these quotes and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. My brain just dumps it because it's like, all right, not that important. I saw it, I enjoyed it, I experienced it. Boom, gone.
I just did a movie quote that neither one of you caught.
When
so that makes sense.
people say
Jimmy's
movie
brother,
quotes,
the singer or whatever.
Yeah, it's from Superbad.
People do movie quotes. I'm like, I just chuckle with them.
Yeah, you just kind of laugh along. Like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like like you're laughing at your boss. You're like, ha ha ha.
Great.
What did you say?
This sums up Scotty and his eyes relationship over the last 2 decades. I appreciate that.
That's right. He keeps doing movie quotes, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good one.
It's been all a lie. It's all been a lie.
Fuck, man. Well, today we've had a couple weeks where we just dove into like a lot of serious shit, and we're coming up on the holiday, and I wanted to like get into like some debauchery and just have fun.
Debauchery?
Is it debauchery?
It's
Debauchery.
What's debauchery? Why did I
That's
say
not
debauchery?
a word.
Debauchery is not a word, I don't believe.
Oh well, that's fine. That's good.
Unless you pronounce debauchery.
I'm gonna fix all your
debauchery.
English from now on.
Fix all my English.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Fix the Spanish guy's English. That's how.
You can't even speak Spanish.
I do speak I speak Spanglish.
You speak like 10 words of Spanish. All right,
I speak more than 10
maybe
words
it's
of Spanish.
50. Okay, I'll give you 50, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
He's semi-conversational.
So, I got a question for you guys. Have either of you been on a cruise?
No.
Yes.
Well,
No, not on deployment. Not on deployment.
I have never been on a pleasure cruise. We'll just put
Well,
it.
define-
or was it? Or
define
was
pleasure
it?
cruise.
It's not pleasurable. No.
You mean a leisure? Like for leisure?
Leisure, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never been on a leisure
He
cruise.
was on a submarine with a bunch of cocks.
Bunch of dudes.
Yeah. 205 to be exact.
Damn.
Have either of you ever thought about going on a cruise?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it?
Are you trying to go on a
something
cruise?
What?
that- Who, me?
Yeah. Is that what we're talking about now?
I mean, I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to going on a cruise. That's
Okay.
not one thing that I've ever thought that I really want to do. Whenever someone talks about going on a cruise, they always talk about going and then like spending a day here, a day here, a day here. And I'm the kind of guy that I want to go somewhere and I want to like dive in deep into wherever I'm going. So like when I went to the Dominican Republic, we did snorkeling, we did like four-wheelers throughout the whole island. We did a bunch of I went jumping off a cliff. So like all of the things
Yeah,
there,
I don't want to do
right?
any of those things.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm not jumping off a
wanna do
cliff.
any
I don't want to do any of those things.
Wait, you wouldn't take a sand buggy or a fucking ATV and rip it through?
Nah, man, that's boring.
What?
For
What?
like,
wait,
for
what?
like how long? How long were you on
This is like it was
an all day thing?
No, it was like a 2-hour thing.
Nah, I'm good.
No, you can't be serious.
No, I'm good. Like when I want to, like, so all right. So the reason why I have thought about going on a cruise is because I have to compromise with my wife. My wife wants to take time off and go sit on the beach.
Okay.
I want to take
Scotty
time off.
hates the beach.
I it's not that I really hate the beach.
Oh wait,
I think it's just a waste of time.
Scotty has trauma
Like
from the beach.
I only have so much vacation time. I want to go see something super old. I want to go see something like awe-inspiring. Like you know what I mean? Like I want to go to Constantinople. I want to go to like Mayan ruins. I want to go, you know, like that. Those are the types of things that I want to go see the pyramids, right? And Magda doesn't want to do that. So going on a cruise, we could be like, all right, so we'll hit this beach, we'll hit this beach, we'll hit this beach. You can stay on the beach. I'll go see the pyramids in Mexico over in the Yucatan Peninsula. Then you can go to we go to the beach, and we go to the beach, and we go to the beach. And we can do whatever in between. But like at least on that trip, I went to go see something super cool
But couldn't
that I want to do.
But that's part of the trip in like taking the ATVs. You're touring the island, and you're ripping through, and it's fun. It's all off roading.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see like a rainforest. I don't really care about
Okay.
Whoops.
Okay. You don't want to go see the Amazon, the man-made rainforest?
that. In the Dominican Republic?
I was not the Dominican.
Oh, I was gonna
The
say that.
Amazon's not the man-made rainforest.
No, the Amazon is a man-made rainforest.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
We could have this conversation.
Oh,
This is a
boy.
conspiracy theory, by the way. It's
Oh,
not
man.
like
It's not really a conspiracy theory.
what do you
There's-
mean?
You think it's
there's-
man-made?
There's a lot of supporting evidence.
Yeah, there's a lot of supporting evidence that the Earth is flat.
Oh, there is
There
not
actually
a lot
there
of
is a
supporting
lot,
evidence. There is not a lot of supporting evidence of the Earth
There is.
flat.
It's all just been covered up.
Yeah,
It is.
that's part of the conspiracy.
It's a trending idea in I don't know if it's archaeology, but that the rainforest was man-made.
Okay.
How does one man make a rainforest?
It's well, because there was a civilization there, and as they keep cutting the rainforest down, they keep seeing more and more of the rainforest that they couldn't see before. Also, LiDAR is helping out with like finding ruins and stuff like that. And we have actual personal accounts that there was a thriving civilization in the Amazon, that dates back to like the 1600s.
Okay. How
But-
would that mean that it's man-made though?
So it being man-made is there are some anomalies with the statistics with regard to the types of trees that are in the Amazon rainforest. Statistically, there should not be these. I think it's very specifically 3 types of trees. There should not be this many trees in the Amazon of those 3 types, and those 3 types specifically are the ones that create fruit for food. And there's like 2 or 3 types of fruit trees, and there's a one tree in particular that makes ayahuasca, that they use to make the ayahuasca brew, so that way they have like these visions and stuff like that.
Okay.
But also in the Amazon rainforest,
Would either of you do that? Ayahuasca?
No.
I probably would.
No.
I'd have to take like a couple.
Mo
weeks
has some drama around anything around those kind of things.
off.
What?
And then the other thing is that they have found this like, and they can't recreate it. This like soil, that is like super fertile in the Amazon, and it is confirmed. All scientists have confirmed this. This is not up for debate. That this soil was man-made. Like it is made by man somehow, but like the Amazon rainforest, that soil is not very fertile in general, right? So in order for them to actually cultivate the land there, they had to create this soil. They call it, I don't know, black dirt or something like that.
Oh,
Black
black
tar?
dirt.
They had. I mean, there is a like native tongue word for it that means like black dirt or something like that.
We'll
Yeah,
just leave
it's
that-
pretty crazy.
Sorry.
We'll just leave that
Sorry.
one.
But
I mean, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I didn't know
He made
that.
the joke. He made the joke.
now Muhammad's gonna watch YouTube videos and
Now I'm
gonna
going
dive
down a
into
rabbit
this,
hole.
'cause it's-
Rabbit
it
hole
is
about the
interesting.
rainforest.
You've made mention of this before, but I just brushed it off, and now that you've talked about it, and I figured that we would talk about it eventually,
yeah,
because that's
we
how
can talk about it
typically.
more in depth. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I mean by that is sometimes you and I have conversations where something gets mentioned, and it's a topic that gets brought up in another conversation down the road. And that's what I thought this Amazon thing was going to be, because I think you mentioned this a long time ago. This was not something that you
Yeah,
mentioned
nah,
recently.
it's not new.
Interesting. No, so like, all right. So I came across a story. You guys have may heard this story, and I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys, and I'm gonna ask questions. So both of you guys said that you would hop on a cruise.
Yeah.
So Carnival had a cruise ship. These are huge, right? There were 3,000 guests on this cruise ship, and about 1,100 workers, so 4,000. And they had everything on this cruise ship. So cruise takes off, supposed to go down to Mexico, going through the Gulf. Everything's fine. Day 1, you guys are having a blast. So now both of you guys have taken off of work. You guys have significant others. They've taken off work. You've planned this vacation. You're on this boat. stuck at the sea, right? Having fun. Day 2 happens. I mean, they have 7 different restaurants. They have a casino. They have all sorts of games.
Only 7?
Well, like big restaurants. They have also have the regular. They have
buffet
like
kind of
independent,
style thing,
like
yeah.
yeah, independent.
The food
restaurants.
court, the buffet,
Yeah,
you know.
They have live shows. You guys are having a ball. Day 3 comes. Everything is cool. You guys go to bed. And all of a sudden, fucking alarms go off. Middle of the night. You get woken up. Weird sounds are coming through the speakers. And then all of a sudden, it's like alpha team, like people talking, right? How are you guys feeling in this moment?
I mean,
Concerned.
I did that for like 6 years. so,
I understand, but you're on a Carnival cruise ship. You're on a Carnival cruise ship.
I would be looking for somebody to be like, yo, how can I help?
Okay. So all of a sudden, all of this is happening, right? I would be fucking spazzing the fuck out.
I mean, I'd be the calming voice and be like, calm down to my kids and my wife. And being like,
I'm 100% that
relax.
person.
Yeah.
I'm that person. But inside,
I'm still freaking out.
Inside,
I'm
I'm a
freaking out. I'm
different
going
person.
crazy.
outside portraying, you won't know anything that's happening.
Yeah.
Inside, I'm like, we're
Oh,
in the
shit.
middle of fucking water.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a great swimmer. But before we go any further,
But there's
with
also
the
like
story.
not icebergs in the freaking Gulf of Mexico.
Sure.
It's like we're
That
not.
but
we
there's
know of.
fucking sharks.
You can run aground. I mean, I guess.
Okay, so a question.
But that's not bad because then the boat's not going to sink, right? You're running aground. You kind of just sit on the ground.
So question.
I know a little bit about this though, so
If let's just say travesty happens, right?
sure, it's sinking.
And it's sinking, and you
Okay.
guys are
Then
in the
I'm
middle
freaking
of the
out.
water. How long do you guys think you can last before just?
I'm
With the-
stealing a boat, a lifeboat.
Yeah, what,
like
a
one
life
of the
raft or
a life
Like,
raft.
let's just say there you can't like there isn't enough.
I'm killing somebody and taking it.
wow.
Well,
Well,
not
I mean,
enough.
Muhammad just goes straight to death.
Survival of the fittest, all right, bro.
Straight to departing people.
I mean,
Survival of the fittest.
No,
listen, if this is life or
Like,
death, yeah.
we gotta eat the old lady because we ain't got nothing else to eat.
Ah,
Oh, he won't do that though.
I heard it. Well,
he
yeah,
would
I
depart
know.
her, but he won't eat her.
From what I heard,
Well,
about
I
cannibals,
100% disagree. I think all of us would eat a human.
if it
Like
really
if
came
we're
down
at
to
one of
it,
those planes that crashed into a mountain and we're like whatever, what was it? I forget the flight that happened, but they all got stranded and then they ended up eating the dead.
Yeah.
I don't see. I
that's
understand it. I understand.
that's last resort. Depending on where
Yeah.
you're at, I would be looking to find food other ways first. But if it really came down to it, and it's literally like your life or death, I guess that's kind of an extreme scenario where you have to make it happen. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, that's not an easy thing.
mean,
but what
yeah.
I'm talking
Being
about
stranded
is
on a mountain is one thing though. Like being stranded on a mountain, like you can walk down the mountain. I mean, maybe there's a cliff and you can't get down it, but like, you know, if you've got like all the stuff that's in the plane, bro, you can make ropes. Like, you can do a lot of things with like that kind of stuff. But like when you get stranded out to sea, you got that boat and yourselves,
so.
and that's it.
Let's just
Like,
say,
you're done.
for like a hypothetical, right?
Yeah.
You guys are in the water. There
Yeah.
is no boat. How long are you lasting?
I don't know.
in the water, there's no. Is there any debris?
Maybe, sure, but like you
Okay.
may have to but like that's like you can't drink the water. You're just
No.
standing out there in the blistering sun. Like so you're either in the water treading or floating and you're just sitting. At
So,
what point
yeah.
do you just decide to give up?
So I don't know if this is the case with, and this might be complicating your story just way too much. Actually, it's probably not even worth saying. It's probably not worth saying.
Why?
So I don't know if this is the case on Carnival cruise life rafts. Okay, but in the Navy when we had life rafts, they were
In
all
the
equipped.
Navy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they were all equipped with desalinizing units, and they were equipped with this like it's nastiness like nasty like they made us eat it, right?
Wait.
Like mac and cheese?
No, no. It's yo.
That's a good one, bro.
It's like you know how like in Lord of the Rings they got that like elvish bread or lambas bread, right?
Yeah.
It's like lambas bread. Like one bite is like 500 calories. Like they just like it's this giant brick of this like very high calorie food. I don't want to call it food because like it's sustenance. That's what it is.
Just to
It's
keep you alive.
sustenance.
Yeah.
It's a giant brick of sustenance, which is good enough for the number of people that are supposed to be able to fit in the raft, right? For like 3 days or some shit like that.
Okay.
So like, you know, hey, if I find a life raft and I get on that boat, right now I've got water to drink. Now I've got, you know, some sort of sustenance.
Got it.
And if we ration it right, you know, that can last a while. But I mean, I just have to call back to like some old stories, World War II. Like dudes were out there for like 35 days and survived with
Listen,
water,
I understand
no,
that, but like there are times where like there are people that would just give up. I don't think.
Oh yeah, no,
I
not
don't
like
think
that.
I'm one of those people
Yeah.
that I'm just giving up. I'm gonna just fight for as long as I can. So I probably would be one of those people, but
But you also don't have to tread water. I mean, you
you
just
just have to float.
you just
Well,
float.
not
Float in the
everyone
ocean.
can float.
I mean,
Yeah.
not everyone can float.
Not everyone knows how to float.
I mean,
Scott.
but you don't have to know how to float. You just lay back and you float.
Yeah, but if you
not
panic,
everyone can do that.
Well, I mean, you know, big meatheads can't do that because they're so freaking dense. They just sink.
this guy, this is what he goes to. Big meatheads can't do it because they're so dense.
I mean, if you got some fat.
No
on your
offense
body,
to any of
you
the
can
meatheads
float.
watching us. You know, we
That's
love you
fine.
too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
you're
guys.
gonna knock on the door.
It's gonna be a lot harder for you to survive the situation. You better not go on a cruise.
straight yoked dude at your front door. Like,
I heard
what
you were
can't I
talking
do, bro.
shit.
But also, I don't think it's gonna take long for them to find you.
Okay.
If a cruise ship goes down, first of all, have you seen these things?
Yeah, oh, they're skyscrapers.
They're fucking huge,
Yeah.
bro.
Massive.
They're bigger than
yeah.
the majority of buildings in downtown Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're massive.
Like they're giant, and like there's I'm sure like the command deck is high. Like before that thing goes down, they're scrambling jet, like not jets, but like helicopters. Like there's gonna be a rescue quick. I mean, even the Titanic. How long did it take them to get to the Titanic?
I don't know, but
I think it was
she
like-
said that she would never let fucking go, and she let go.
I think it was like a day and a half. It was like a day and a half or 2 days. So I mean, if we were like on a yacht, like a private yacht, out in the middle of the freaking Pacific Ocean, that's one thing.
So, this was just an off-topic question.
Well, anyway.
It wasn't part of the story, and I appreciate you giving me that insight because I've never heard of this substance before, and that
It is not
sounds
something you want to eat.
sounds scrumdiddlyumptious. So they go up, everyone goes up, and fucking smoke is coming out of the top of the Carnival cruise ship.
Okay.
They rush, they put out the fire, everything. Lights turn back on, everything seems to be okay. Everyone goes back to their room. Everything seems to be legit. The person is on the loudspeaker. She's trying to calm everyone down, saying we're good to go. Then all of a sudden, all the power goes out. Right? So now you have 4,000 people on this ship, and there's no power. So they're trying to calm everyone down. Everyone's figuring it out, and you're stuck in these rooms. There's no circulation of air. So people just start fucking taking their mattress and bringing it onto the deck and creating these little fucking tent cities, right?
Okay.
Part of the issue as well is there's no electricity, right? So there's no Wi-Fi. So there's no communications. They have the satellite phone, sure. So they reach out and they say, we're going to have tugboats come out there, and they should be out there tomorrow. So they tell everyone all of these things, but they come to find out that in order to use the bathrooms, there needs to be electricity. So they were like, well, what the fuck are we going to do? Right? So they're like, we got this plan. Because originally they were like, people can just pee off the side.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, how's that going to work for women? You can't hang them off of the side. They could fall off. So they came up with the pee in the shower. Okay, that's working. And then someone's like, well, what about shit? So then they hand out these red bags to everyone. All of the bathroom now get these bags, and you're supposed to shit in a bag, right? So the first question I have for you gentlemen is, it's told to you that you're going to get sort of rescued in less than 24 hours. Are you going to make it to 24 hours without having to use the bathroom? Or are you just going to use the bag?
Bro, I got no shame. I'll use the bag.
know.
I'll use it. Like,
I don't understand. I don't understand where the shame comes from. Just put the bag over the toilet, and now you're just shitting on a toilet.
well, that's assuming the bag is big enough. Like, we don't know what
Well,
size
you're gonna
bag
have
is.
to. I think you have to hold. I think you have to get the bag and then shit in it. But like,
I will make it work with a toilet. I will.
So it's expected.
MacGyver that
It's expected that you use the bag and then you like tie it up.
and throw it overboard.
Well, I don't know if people were throwing it overboard.
Why
but,
not?
That was not supposed to be.
Listen, man.
4,000 people
I have been a part of
pooping for 24 hours.
of pumping shit overboard. I was a part of that for 4 years, dude. That's what
That's
we
different.
Do.
That's different.
That's what the boat does. That's what the cruise ship does.
You're pumping it overboard. You're not throwing it in plastic bags overboard.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. The plastic's
you're-
not going to just
If
disintegrate.
you're outside 12 nautical miles, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the plastic's not just going to disintegrate.
No, it won't.
So now you're.
I'm ruining the environment. This is why I would
No.
just shit in a bucket and then toss it overboard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand like the reason why it'd be bags. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I think the situation's flawed.
I would easily make it to 24 hours
Also,
or whatever.
You
'Cause
guys have
doing the
paid
math.
thousands of dollars to be on this
Listen,
ship,
listen.
and now you're just going to be like, okay, we're just going to poop in this bag.
Oh,
That's life. It
I'm getting a
happens.
free new cruise. Absolutely.
I'm not going on another cruise after that. Fuck that.
Not with.
That's called lesson
why
learned.
not? This is like
Lesson learned.
the one in how many thousands of cruises that they've had that this problem happened? Yeah, I'm
Nah.
going on another cruise. Hell yeah.
Nah,
I better get
lesson
two extra
lesson learned.
freaking
Do something
cruises.
else.
Well, so
Or just giving me on an Amex card so I can go on a different cruise line.
Yeah. So here, before you go, my thinking behind it is if you do the math on it, right, and you're saying there's 4,400 people, and then there's like women, obviously, and then men, whatever. Women don't go to the bathroom. Most women, depending on it, they don't go to the bathroom as often as men because they have slower digestive systems and things. So if we're doing the math on it, I don't know if it really counters it out. So it's not going to be that much shit. I mean, it's going to be a lot of shit because there's 4,400 or 4,100 people. But like,
yeah,
just
but
to
this
survive.
is also you're also not factoring in people go on vacation and they abandon all sorts, like especially when like all the meals are comped. You're just eating a shit ton of food.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be shitting.
I mean, maybe.
So
maybe that's the way you think. I don't think people just like gorge themselves.
well, that's why all
the
those people
time.
were like a lot of deaths happen at these all-inclusive resorts.
Because they eat too much?
Well, because they go into these places
So they drink too
and
much.
well, both. They drink and eat way more than they normally would, and then it creates complications.
Oh.
That was a big issue with Dominican Republic. Remember when they were having those issues? What in 2019?
I thought they were like replace the alcohol with like some local.
No.
They were tainting the alcohol.
That's what they were saying, but like that really, like some of it might have been that, but a lot of it is because some of these people just had health issues, and they went there and.
So this is just like the first time it actually hit the news because it was like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
4 people died instead of 3.
Yeah,
That's an increase of 33%.
yeah. We went there that same year. We were in the Dominican Republic that same year.
Oh wow.
Same resort?
It was all of DR. There was multiple resorts that
Oh,
were
really?
having these issues.
Whatever.
Yeah, we were at the Hard Rock. Beautiful place if you want to go.
But I mean, like I said, like, I mean, where do you think we put our trash?
In a landfill at the sea.
Yep, the ocean is the landfill. Anywhere.
A floating barge.
As long as it's 12 nautical miles out to sea, it goes to the ocean floor.
And we wonder why we don't have a lot of fish.
Trash goes. Nah, man, the fish love it. They eat that shit up, and then they shit it out, and they
it's a new reef.
Reefs out of it. Yeah.
It's that big man-made reefs.
So then, right? The tugboat doesn't come, right?
Mm-hmm.
So another. Now
maybe the cruise ships put their trash. Maybe they keep their trash. I don't know because they've got room. I don't know, but you know.
Another cruise ship goes by and they have to deliver food to them because all the perishables are no longer good because there's no electricity to keep anything right. So then all of the chefs are not cooking anything. So now you have these people lining up for food and they're waiting in line for like 2 hours to get some food. And they're getting fucking a lettuce sandwich or like a lettuce and tomato and onion sandwich. All like nothing that had to be refrigerated. So people are starting to fucking flip. Now they're waiting for hours, so they're trying to grab more food because it's every man for themselves. And they've created these little sections where this is our section, you can't come in. And it starts to become a very hostile environment, right? So then they decide, it's a smart idea, we're just going to open the bars back up, right?
No, they already did that.
No,
I guarantee you they already did that. Like, no, we need to keep morale up on the boat so that there's not a mutiny. And
no, they didn't. The bar was closed.
Okay.
And then they said,
is this a real story?
100%.
Okay.
So this is a real story that I just happened to come across. I don't know where I was when this story hit the news.
They need to update their procedures.
But, all right, so then, make a long story short, because this is going a lot longer than it should. The tugboats eventually do come, and they start pulling. Well, when they start pulling, the boat lifts up.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what happens to all of the piss and the shit that are in all of these toilets? It starts lifting and falling, and sewage is going down stories, bro. One of the workers is on a bunk bed and hops off a bunk and is ankle deep in fucking filth. Like, just gross.
Yeah.
So this situation turned to be real shitty real quick. No pun intended. They finally get to shore.
No, that's where you say pun intended.
Pun intended. 4 days it took them. 4.
Yeah.
No power to get back. So then the lawsuits start to happen. Except for fine print.
Mm-hmm.
Says the carnival isn't liable for good food, safe conditions, all of these things. So they're like, we're not gonna pay anybody. So then they gave people like free cruise. Yeah, sure. And like Mo said, like, I don't want to fucking cruise. I have a lot of trauma here that I'm gonna have to unpack. I'm not even sure I ever want to go on vacation again. Right? But how fucking shitty is that?
Yeah, I mean, read that fine print.
So they made changes. That cruise, the ship is still in service today. They made some changes.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have they had to have had emergency power to maintain like communications or something, or
no,
not like emergency power for propulsion purposes, but at least for them to be talking to the authorities.
They had a satellite phone. That was it.
I don't know if I would build a ship like that.
Well, so what happened was the fire, right, burned up all of the electric, like, wiring,
The switchgear
for the whole ship. So That shit was dead to water.
Yeah,
This is
that's
Carnival Triumph. It happened in the early 2013, I think it was. I don't know how I didn't hear about this until now.
Yeah.
But they have a documentary on Netflix, and that's how I came across this.
They
story.
probably made some more. They probably made some upgrades.
Oh yeah, they definitely did.
See, like we had a lot of redundancy, so we didn't have to worry about those kind of situations at all. So it's really hard for me to believe that they would build a ship like that. I don't know why they would have like one spot where all the switchgear is. It's like, oh, then the switchgear gets burned. We have nothing. Like, but anyway.
Well, that's
Maybe I should go. Maybe I should go work for Carnival or whoever builds these ships, so I can make them build better ships.
Hey, listen,
this is the right way to do this.
that is what maybe could be done.
Yeah.
So, so this week on entertainment, right? We overall, we have a couple things to talk about.
Yeah.
We have Stick, episode 3, I think we're on.
Yeah.
Duster, episode 5.
Yeah.
And Scotty and I saw F1. I'm not sure if you are watching F1 or
Didn't
watch
see it
F1.
yet, no.
All right, so we're not going to give any spoilers, just an overall feeling of the takeaways. All right, let's start off with Stick, a feel-good comedy. I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoying. I really appreciate each character's dynamic in the show, and everyone has their own sort of story. I guess here comes my takeaway on things. My apologies.
No, Stick feels like it's trying to tell a story.
So the biggest takeaway is everyone is dealing with something. Whether we know what that something is or not, it doesn't matter. This was the episode where she found out about his son, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait.
So what?
Was that earlier on? Was it in that episode? Was it in this episode?
You're only up to episode 3, right?
Yeah.
If you're only up to episode 3, then it's this episode.
This is the one with the tournament.
Yeah, because
The first
she
tournament.
spazzes out on him.
Yeah.
And then later in the tournament, what's his name? Puss Boy?
Puss Boy.
Are you sure? I thought that might have been episode 4.
I think-
Did you see episode 4?
He didn't see episode 4.
Yeah, but I thought that she talked about
I think
that.
that's episode 4.
I think that's episode
Did you?
4.
So wait, you saw episode 4?
No. Episode
No,
3
you're talking
ends
about
with
the
like
next episode.
Okay, I'm sorry.
episode
I was
3
asking you if you saw this part. Did you see
Yeah, I did
him
not see
talk
that
about
part.
this? Okay,
Spoiler.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Spoiler.
sorry.
Spoiler. So
Sorry.
episode 3 ends with Santi like walking off, like hanging out with that girl in the motel room. And then
Trouble.
it kind of like what?
Trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah, she's trouble. Also like super Gen Z, like
Yeah.
I don't eat meat because it's 16% of blah, blah, blah. That's episode 4 also. I won't get into that. But like,
So we're gonna
yeah.
just do episode 4, guys. It's really,
Yeah.
episode
So-
3. Fuck it. Episode 4 it is. All right.
But the tournament.
Tournament.
So we
The
find
trip
out a little
to
bit
the
more about
tournament.
Stick's problems, right? With gambling.
Yeah.
He's got a big problem with gambling. And then when it's not going his way, he gets super friggin' angry.
Yeah.
And then he just goes off on Santi, and then Santi needs to find himself again. Go ahead.
it's-
How does it relate to your life and trauma?
Well, no, it relates to my life and trauma.
I mean, those are the lessons you learn, you know?
Well, no, I feel like each individual, like, all right, it's been a learning curve for me personally, like trying to have conversations with my daughter and understanding what she needs from me to be able to deliver the message.
I see.
So on the course, when he spazzed out on him, like that dialogue, he was just looking at it like, I'm doing this to motivate you. And that's not the way he needs to be motivated.
Was he?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, trying to
was
get him
he
to shake
ups-
it. Trying
Was
to
he
get him to shake it
upset
off and
that-
get in the zone.
What?
He was trying to get him to shake it off and get in the zone, like get back on focus.
Was he? I don't know. I think he just expressed anger, and I don't think he really knows how to I mean, is this the first time he's coaching somebody?
Yeah.
And he's got $3,000 on the line.
Wait, $3,000.
No, it was only 500.
500.
No,
No, it was 500.
no, it turns into $3,000.
Well, this bet at
They
this
didn't
tournament.
record it. It was actually a three. Yeah, the guy gives him $3,000.
No.
They didn't
The bet was
record it.
$500.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I'm pretty sure it was more.
It looked like a lot more, but the bet was $500.
I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, they only told us it was 500, and then they the guy gave him $3,000, three large. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's got a lot of money on it. Obviously, this is not money he has,
Right.
because in the episode he's like, "We might have to skate out of here, puss boy. Like, we might have to get the hell out of here." But I thought that was. So I think that frustration of him losing the bet
Yeah,
Tied into
got
it,
the
yeah.
better of him. I don't think it was, this is my strategy to motivate the guy. I think it was like, fuck, I'm pissed. Like, we got to do this because otherwise we're
Yeah.
going to have to,
I see that.
I see that too, but I also see the point where he's like, I'm trying to get this guy out of his head. But he's delivering a message that also caused Santi to have a reaction based on his past
That's right.
and trauma,
Yep.
right? So we all don't know in each individual story or how we need to talk to each other. I believe you and I have that problem. There are times that you and I, even working towards a common goal, where I talk to you a certain way and it's not the way you need to talk to, and then you immediately take offense. Or that you say something to me and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah, I mean, you just catch these tones, and I don't think.
And
you
then
really
as the
catch
third
the
party,
tones.
from the outside, I look at him like, man, what the hell is going on with these guys?
So
Like, these guys are friends.
it's
Yeah, they're friends.
it's funny,
They kill
right?
each
That
other.
you say that. The tone thing is funny, Scott.
You know,
I think-
sometimes arch enemies are best friends.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
Yo, remember?
Wow,
Remember? What was that Bruce
Escalation?
Willis and Samuel L. Jackson movie?
yeah, sure. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Snakes on a
Samuel
plane?
L. Jackson. What?
What? Snakes
No,
on a
no,
plane?
no. It was that whole series, Unbreakable.
Oh yeah, Mr. Glass.
Yeah, with Mr.
Unbreakable.
Glass.
Glass
Yeah,
unbroken.
that was the whole point he was trying
Or-
to make. Like,
broken, whatever.
we're connected.
So, all right, I know my tone comes off a certain way, and I need to do better in regards to that. And I'll do its story real quick. I was talking to my aunt yesterday, right? And my aunt will be on the show eventually. I'm starting that book this week, guys, so I'm not sure what you guys want to do, but I'm
Okay.
starting the book this week. She is having a lot of trouble with just social media and trying to find. So she has a full-time job like we do, right? She has 2 kids, and one of them has needs, right? So she has a busy schedule, just like all of us
Is she
do.
a single mom?
No, my uncle's there. But still, it's a lot of work. Like you and Magda, like have 2 children, right?
Yeah.
And like both of you guys have a full plate on your plates, and it's tough. And navigating this space that we're navigating, we've all learned very, very quickly on all of the shit that all of this entails. And I know there are times that you feel that you're doing a lot of work, and I appreciate everything that you do. And I know part of that also you feel on me that I'm not holding up to some of the work that you're doing. And I understand that, right? So talking to my aunt, she was like, I need your help, and we're going through it, right? And I'm like, I started to talk to her about things, and she was like, stop lecturing me. And I was like, I'm not lecturing you. I don't know what you don't know or you do know. Like, you feel that way that I'm lecturing you. I'm talking.
No, you're just a mansplainer. I mean,
Okay.
but like to the nth degree.
Sure. And you want me to get triggered right now, and I'm not going to do it. And
It's true. I'm not telling you.
Goose-
I'm not even doing
Yeah.
this as a.
I feel pretty.
I'm not.
Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and gay.
Yo, when we're done, you're gonna ask Magda. You're gonna ask Magda this question. Do I mansplain everything?
And
Do I just explain everything
and
as if you're a dummy?
so talking to
I
my
do it
aunt
sometimes too.
and going through things, she had made a comment, and I'm like, and she was like, "It's just your tone," and I was like, "All right."
Witness number 2.
I was like, "I'm letting you know that you're coming at things from a negative place," and that's what I explained to her. And I was like, "I'm gonna explain this to you from my perspective, and I'm sorry that I came across and the tone came across wrong." I was like, "I love you, and I want you to succeed in whatever you're doing." So when I'm talking off, like, all right, when we talked about Iran or when we talked about all of those things, I had to work through those thoughts. If I'm having a conversation with you guys in real time, Scott, you've made mention that you can't just think on the fly and just have a conversation about certain things.
Yeah.
I can. The difference is that when I do it, my tone isn't the right way. I don't factor that concept into things because I'm just allowing my brain to tell my mouth what to say with not winding that thought process to how you need it to be delivered, right? So when I talked to her the other day and I said, "Listen, like, if you know that I'm coming from a place of love, you should never question that I'm coming from a place of love. I'm going to work on my tonality with you. And in general, that's something I need to do and I know I need to fix. But when I'm talking to the people that I care about, they shouldn't automatically assume the worst of me. And yes, my tone can be wrong, and I'm sorry that it's coming off that way, and I'll work on that. But if I'm trying to help you, it's not that I'm thinking that you're less than or inferior or that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, right?
Yeah, but that's what the tone does, and the words you use and the way you phrase it, right? That's what it does, right? That's what you're not understanding is that when you use that tone, when you use the words, the way you say the things you're saying, it's degrading.
It comes off pointed.
No, it's degrading.
Okay.
It's like dehumanizing. And then it, me personally, whenever I talk to you, I get into a defensive stance, and then my tone changes, and then I'm like, bro, you're taking a tone with me, and then you're like, no, you're the one that took the tone, and I'm like, that's because you didn't realize you fucking took a tone, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So
should I get triggered now?
This was
I
supposed
didn't
to be
insult you at all.
This was supposed to be a short story.
Yeah, well,
this is good. People
I
need to
didn't
see-
realize
people
that
need to see-
I just dug a hole and you guys wanted to just kick me into the fucking grave. That's
No,
great.
no. Listen, people. It's good that people see this because it makes them realize that like everybody's got the same thing going on. This is raw and unfiltered. This is not like this is it. This is reality, right? And I experience the same thing with like people around me because I have a way of like it's perceived that you're coming at people in a certain way, and sometimes you don't think like I'll explain something and then afterwards realize like I just over explained it, and like to someone receiving that they're gonna think that I think that they're an idiot. But I'm just trying to explain in a way that doesn't leave any room for confusion or any room for anything from the experience I get with the people at work. Like there's certain times where it's like I would explain it to a level that I thought was good enough and then find out that it wasn't for that person. So then now I try to err on the side of caution where I'm just explaining to like a crazy level of explaining. And then some people look at that and as me thinking they're stupid, whereas I'm just trying to communicate as, as effectively as clearly and like giving all of the details needed to avoid any kind of confusion later on. But I've been said the same thing told to me, like that it's not what you're saying, it's how you say it, and it's the tone in which you say it. And
yeah,
it's a lot
and
of
like
time
listen, like
not conscious.
I'm old, right? And like
Not
I
you,
still don't understand
specifically.
Old dogs can't learn new tricks. Wait, what?
Got it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're
We're
all growing. You can grow at any age. I don't think that limits anybody. I think that's just a cop out. Honestly,
it's interesting because like this ties into the show, right? Where they're having a dialogue and like he doesn't understand what he did wrong, and then it's the teenage rebellion, right, that kicks in, and then I'm dealing with that with Lily, right? I for me, it's like, all right, I want to reconcile things. I don't want to leave things on a negative tone, but she needs her space, right? To just do whatever it is that she needs to do and decompress. And there's that battle. So when I watch some of these shows, it's like, huh, interesting. And to me, like, Stick, because of all of these different dynamics, like, when Ashley was here, like, Ashley was Lily's friend all of the time. So where maybe I came across something, Lily and Ashley can have a conversation right then and there where it paves and smooths out. Where now Lily's learning how to talk to me and I'm learning how to talk to her, right? And that's an interesting dynamic, and I saw that in the show. That's all. That's my takeaway. I thought it was great. I think this show's a fucking amazing show, to be honest with you. And it's a great recommendation by you.
Appreciate that.
I'm starting to like it better than Duster at this point. With how far I
You
got
said
into
that
it.
last week.
Wait,
I'm just
wait.
seeing more, and I'm just seeing more of it, and I'm like, the more I'm seeing from Duster, I'm like, it just
It has
just
like
so-
that life connection, right? Like that real life connection.
yeah, and like
You
because
can't
you're
get that
seeing
from Duster.
yeah, the other one is like, I mean, they're both, I guess, stories, but the one you can relate to more because it's got more of like the interpersonal thing. The other one just seems like it's all buttoned up and like how convenient and,
How convenient.
things playing out the way they play out.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not going to get into it yet, but for Stick, I mean, the thing that was cool was seeing how Puss Boy and Elena or Evelyn or whatever his Santi's mom was, that whole scene with him getting locked in the under the Murphy bed.
It was hilarious. But there was growth there. There was growth there.
Oh, there was 100%.
There was growth.
there.
They
There was growth there.
reconciled,
Yeah.
and
She's like, I know how to do it. I know how to fix it, but you need to do this.
but we
And
need
he's
to
like,
talk
what do I need
first.
to
I'm not letting you out if you're gonna keep going the way you've been going.
But he's the grumpy old man, right? Like he has loss of his wife that he never really fully worked
Yeah.
through, and he trauma bonded with Price, right? Oh,
Yeah.
and they were able to keep the relationship the way they were, but they never worked through, and like their issues, right? Was this the issue where he talked to Price about his son?
No,
Okay,
This
I'm not
was-
going to
this
talk
was-
about that.
yeah.
Jeez, bro. Get them spark notes.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Why don't we talk about episode 4 now?
Yeah, you're still jumping to episode 4.
No, I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about the next episode.
We're talking about in the RV where Puss Boy
Yep.
is talking to Santi's mom, and then he tells her how he's just not comfortable with people being in there because it was just him and his wife, and now that
Yep.
she's gone, he's feeling comfortable about it. And then you can see that they're warming up, well, that she's kind of getting a better perspective on him, and she was like taking the higher road with just the communication and it seemed like she was taking a lot. I was expecting her to there was times where she could have just freaked out and been like, no, screw you, whatever, I'm not gonna help, you're a piece of whatever, and then just leave him there. And it just shows like the character growth throughout the whole thing, where they're all kind of growing together from all of those different experiences where you're dealing with someone that you're not used to, or you're dealing with people with different personalities, different backgrounds, different whatever. And I think it's interesting to see how they're all kind of growing together. I disagree with the whole Santi and that girl situation at the restaurant, and how he meets her in the shed, and then she basically tells him, oh, well, screw that guy, you show him this, then the other. It works out for this episode because he won and Price didn't lose the money. But overall, that kid wouldn't be here at this tournament if it wasn't for Price paying his mom a large sum of money because he believes in the kid. So the kid is being very selfish and ungrateful and disrespectful in the way that he's treating him as a result of that girl telling him what he's supposed to do, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
To your
But
point of
that's-
the teenage rebellion.
And you'll
But that's-
see, and you'll see it, evolve in the next episode, and it, there's some other things kind of like brainwashing kind of thing going on in that relationship, and it turns into trouble pretty quickly. And that's what it is.
Well, she also like has unresolved issues that we don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
When we think about episode 3.
Oh yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
like she's a very intellectual character, right? But she has her point of views.
Intellectual
She has data and stats to back up her beliefs.
Yeah, but they're
where some people just have beliefs and they just are blind beliefs.
Well, I think it's naivety, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
And like to piggyback on what you said, Muhammad, right? Like that relationship where she's telling him what he needs to hear based on his message to her, right?
Yeah.
Because it's his perception that he's seeing, but as growth happens, we know that there's two sides to this, right? Like she finds out that he paid a large sum of money, sure, to have him play, but does she know any of the background on why he's not playing, what's happening, all of those kind of things? So
she barely knows anybody.
Yeah, so that's where I'm interested to see where that evolves.
Yeah.
But overall, good episode, good show.
But yeah, before we get off of this, bro, which one of you? You seen the brackets on this bed, right? Which one of you is not opening that shit up with like just sheer strength? Like, come on. I would be out of that thing in 2 freaking minutes,
are you
bro.
Are you talking about
the
him
bed on the
being
RV? Yeah.
Underneath?
There's no way I'm getting stuck in there. I am lifting that shit up. I don't care how much strength
There's no space.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Bro, you're just straight pressing
leverage
it. You're
yourself.
just straight pressing it.
Yeah, you can straight press that. Or you could use your legs.
I don't think that there was enough space to move.
I get the point. Yeah.
No way.
It's tight.
I'm out of
there.
there.
The best he could do is this, and then like.
Nah, man,
Dude,
you just keep leveraging yourself in there. Your bones ain't gonna break.
He
from
was
the
like
stress
this.
of the weight.
I thought he was like
yeah,
this.
I mean it's tight. It's tight. Well, one, I don't even know if I'd fit under there. But like, two, I mean, yeah, it was tight, but he had like a few inches from his face to the thing. Like
You're not
just
gonna
keep
lift it with your dome piece.
Yeah,
bro.
but dude, have you ever? Well, look, I mean, have you ever like looked under a bed like that where there's storage under the bed? It's smooth, right? So you can slide your like elbow in and keep getting like leverage and stuff like that. Like, yo, there's no way I'm waiting in there for 4 hours. I am finding a way out. Absolutely.
I mean,
under my own strength. No way.
To be honest with you, what I would probably have done was kick the bottom.
I would turn sideways, try to turn sideways and do that and kick the sides out.
You could kick the. I don't know if the sides would be coming out because those brackets are probably pretty. I think it'd be easier to overcome the bracket holding the bed down than to overcome.
Well,
the
point that she was making was that bracket was bent and locked shut.
No, I understand that, but did you see that bracket?
Yeah, he's trying to say the metal isn't strong, and that metal.
I break metal brackets on accident.
Yeah,
not even trying.
Fucking He-Man over here,
guys. Hulk.
Like, I'm like, oh crap, we got to buy a new one. I just broke this. Like, son of a god.
God doesn't know his own strength.
So Duster,
dude, Apple TV Plus. Give me more. I freaking love it, dude. And I can't wait to watch the next episode.
HBO Max.
I saw episode 6, and I was like, yo, where's the next one? I think I saw it on Wednesday. I was like, where's the next one? And there was no next one. I was like,
Thursday.
Son of a gun. I was like, give me the whole season. I want it right now. I want to watch the whole thing. It's like addicting in that way. I mean, there's no deep thought about it, right? There's a lot of action. There's a lot of like, there's a lot of like kind of like cliffhangers. What's gonna happen next? And then it's like, ooh, something really good's about to happen. Go to this other lady. Now we're on her or whatever. And it's great. There's a lot of suspense. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Did you get to the part about the call from Washington?
Yeah.
So you know about like who he's talking to in Washington, or who he
It's literally the last scene of the episode.
who he got picked up from?
No, the last scene of the episode is when the CGI version of Richard Nixon is there.
No, what I'm talking
Yeah,
about
but there was a
is
limo scene where he's in the limo and he's talking.
a guy gets picked up from the airport by
I think
somebody.
Is that episode 4 or 3?
I thought it was episode 5.
It's episode 5.
4 or 5. I thought that
Let me see
happened
what I
before you see Richard Nixon. Not like right
I
before.
said
but in
that
same
I am.
episode.
The Native American guy that's in Washington.
I said I've watched up to episode 5 in Dustin.
Okay.
So
My
Oh,
bad.
you didn't watch episode 5.
Okay,
Did
got
not
it.
watch episode 5 yet.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Ran out of time.
Crap. What's an episode?
No,
4?
I think this is a fun show. I'm still double downing. I don't think Saxton did it. I don't think he did it. And
I think it's some kind of a setup, maybe.
that was my original thought weeks ago. I don't know who did it. I need to see where these storylines tie. But this is definitely going to lead into. Wait, is this the episode where the car gets stolen?
Yeah, episode 4 is the episode where the car gets stolen after
What's his name?
the
The
son
The
takes
Blade?
him- Blade. Yeah, well, yeah, the son takes him to show him the warehouse. Then he snags some papers. Then he takes him out for a drive in the flat whatever. I can't
Galaxy.
think of the
I
name.
think it's called the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Galaxy. And then obviously those two guys robbed him while he's fighting the Blade. And then they come to that arrangement, and then ends up, how convenient that he's trading off his life for this car, the guy, and the fight, and
Howard
It was a cool
Hughes.
episode.
Howard Hughes' car.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, where things tie together, and it just is a storyline that is like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, the same
character
could be said with Stick, right? Like you said, she could have walked out of the thing and left him underneath the bed, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a fun watch, like you said. There's not a lot of thought outside of trying to figure out who was the person who killed these. Like, you get these criminal organizations, and you sort of see where they're lying. I want to know what the fuck is in the briefcase.
You find out what's in the briefcase. What do you mean?
He didn't.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't see the briefcase yet.
I thought
Yeah.
oh no, my bad. My bad.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, all right. So we'll just go to episode.
Why don't we
5 on
talk
this
about
one too,
episode
then.
6?
We'll just skip past through episodes I've watched.
I'm a fucking old
Spoiler
man,
alert.
guys.
I
I'm
won't watch
sorry.
anything then. You just tell me. Just give me the spark.
Yeah, but
notes on it.
you saw
Give me
the
the clips.
Russians, right? You saw the Russians,
Saw the
right?
Russians.
So like
the last-
what the hell? This
Yeah.
is global implications.
The deal with the Russians, I
know?
want to know what it is,
Yeah.
and I can't remember. I don't know why I am losing that. I'm
So
sorry, Mohammed.
Now you got like these politicians, right?
Yep.
And you got the FBI, you got this criminal organization, and the leader of the criminal organization is like, this is global implications. And it's like, okay, at this moment, I'm like, okay, he's setting up a global drug ring, right? Like
yeah.
that's
Well,
my conclusion.
Weapons.
What's that?
Weapons.
Is it weapons?
Did you not see
Okay.
in episode 4?
Yeah,
The warehouse.
he's moving weapons to the
he's
warehouse.
moving weapons. So
But
it
is
could
that
be
a
drugs,
misdirection?
Could be drugs. Could be weapons. Yeah, it could be. That's like their local
Right.
thing. He's transporting for other people, or letting them
Yep.
use his infrastructure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who knows?
This show keeps you on your heels. It
I
has so
wanna
many
see-
twists and turns.
Muhammad,
I
can you
love
quickly just Google to see if we know how many episodes are going to be in this season? Yeah, but I really like the era. First off,
Yeah, the 70s.
yeah,
theme.
I like the 70s theme. I like
8 episodes.
no fucking
No
way.
way.
That's
First
season
has 8 episodes.
sad.
Did they renew it already?
Yeah, do we know if they renewed it? I'm
me
gonna
check.
be really fucking. If they don't renew it, I'm not sure I'm gonna watch the rest of the season. So
You're wild.
I'm gonna watch the
You're
rest of
wild.
the season.
Of course you are.
But yeah, so as I do that, it says if there's a next season. How many seasons of Duster? Is there going to be
Has Duster been
so
renewed?
far? Looks like it doesn't have a definitive answer.
It may not. They may wait until the end of the season.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
They didn't heavily like promote it. I didn't see it anywhere, but I also don't really watch commercials because commercials are for the birds.
It's on the main HBO Max screen, so
Yeah,
that should be enough publicity.
Yeah.
Actually, so it says Dusters, Latoya Morgan, and J.J. Abrams have a 5-season plan for their HBO Max crime thriller.
Nice.
Sorry, I can't speak.
Nice.
Well, they have a five
season
season plan, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna go.
Yeah. Hopefully
I
it's
mean,
hitting. Let's help it out a little bit. Let's help it out a little bit.
Yeah,
let's
everybody,
give
watch
them some
Duster.
juice.
Watch Duster.
Watch Duster. Ignore our spoilers.
Yeah,
Watch it anyway.
well, I haven't spoiled anything. I just talked, briefly mentioned. Briefcase could be anything. Okay.
Yeah,
Could be anything.
Yeah. The other thing that was cool, you see, so to the point of you're saying, oh, it's just like a simple thing, whatever. You do start to see some, familiar, like some trauma stuff in this one too. Like obviously the thing that's tying them all together is family being killed, and then the other thing is, the Mitsui, I think was his name, right? Mitsui. Wasn't that the agent?
Oh, the Native
Awan,
American guy?
Oh, yeah,
Mitsui or
yeah.
Bitsui.
Yeah.
One of those.
Whatever his name is, I don't remember. But talking about how when they go to the Navajo reserve or reservation or whatever, when they're picking up the the package from the coordinates that they follow from what Breen said, basically you get a little glimpse into his story as to why he ended up where he's at, and how his family, they all basically disowned him because he was a traitor or whatever. And it shows that the reason why he's doing it is because he wants there to be exposure on the other side of the aisle for his people so that they can know what they're going through and have somebody that can represent them and give a better insight into like what it's like for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's more depth to it.
Oh
than
yeah,
just straight up,
there's
like,
definitely depth. I'm not saying there's not, but it's more of like, for me, this is more of like just a fun watch, right?
Yeah.
And less takeaway or no takeaway for some people. But no, I thought it was good. And this week Scotty and I had the privilege. I'm gonna give Scotty a pat on the back again. He's got 2 pat on the backs for me this week. So I mean, his head is probably
This is rare.
Yeah, this is rare moments here, ladies and gentlemen.
Very rare.
Scotty was like, "Let's go watch F1 and 40X," and
have to.
That was a good choice.
Yeah, I've heard that for the movie they turned the intensity meter on the chairs to 11, and it's normally at a 4.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it was fun,
bro. I was having a hard time staying in my seat.
Dude, it was
I had a hard time staying in my seat.
When you were in the cockpit, it was moving.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I don't know if there's a 40X anywhere near me.
I mean, there's one
There
about
has
an
to
hour and 15 minutes away.
There has to be. Yeah, right. In my house. Wait.
And if you're gonna, do you have the Regal Pass?
No, I don't have Regal Pass.
Is it AMC?
Yeah,
I only have AMC.
Huh?
You have AMC?
Only AMC, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
the problem.
So,
I don't think AMC has 40X.
Yeah, I don't think they have 40X.
Oh, so you guys have a separate.
We have a Regal.
No, we have the Regal Pass.
We have Regal.
So we have Regal
has
Cinemas.
40X.
Oh, you didn't get the AMC. I thought you got the AMC A-list movie. Oh.
No, so we got a Regal. Regal has the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the movie theater that we go to is the Regal Cinema, so that's why we.
Yeah, but AMC might have an equivalent. Maybe they don't call
That's
it.
what I'm trying to look right now.
Yeah.
It looks like they have 40X heading to AMC. I gotta see.
So
I'd have to look into it.
the takeaway that I have from the movie overall is what I feel about the movie is it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it. This is what you expect from a summer blockbuster. It's fun. There's a lot of witty banter. You have the old goat, like Rocky, right, coming out of retirement per se, and you have the young whippersnapper that knows too much for his own good, and they clash, and then over time their relationship builds to something, and then there's an overcoming of things. I enjoyed their relationship overall. I also enjoyed Brad Pitt's relationship with what's his name? The actor that
The owner?
yeah, the owner.
Yeah.
I forget that actor's name. But Apple smashed this one out the park.
Need more movies
yeah.
like this.
They
Absolutely.
They did a really, really good job. Apple Cinemas, between TV shows and movies, they don't really miss.
Yeah.
I haven't seen something from Apple that I would just like, I don't ever want to see this again, right? Even if, like, for me, this was 8.5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again. It's a fun watch. Yeah, that's the way I feel. For F1 fans, you got some characters and some people that you're going to enjoy. Overall, you'll enjoy the overall F1 theme, and you don't need to be an F1 fan to enjoy the movie. It's fun.
I don't know, man. I'm hearing a lot of reviews on the F1 from people who are Formula One aficionados and also like engineers who are like, yeah, that can't happen.
Well, it's
like,
a movie.
and they're just like,
It's a
no,
movie.
that doesn't happen. That doesn't
Suspend
happen.
disbelief.
And it's like, this isn't F1 really how it's raced. and those
They
kind
gotta
of things,
glamorize
but,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They,
I
like,
mean,
make it cool.
when you have the realist, this will go back to the same conversation that we had with Last of Us, right? Where you have the people that love the fucking game and then see the adaptation to screen and they criticize because it's not.
I don't think that's a I don't think that's a good comparison. I mean, I think it's you maybe the comparison's more so like a football movie where it's like that move's illegal, can't do that kind of thing. Like if they
Okay.
have a movie where they did make an illegal move, like comparing like game versus a realistic TV show versus like what F1 is real and what the rules are versus what a movie about F1 is supposed to be. I think it's more realistic comparison. But
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I think it was a great movie. It was packed full of action. And then me and this dude, there was this whole like series of one-liners. We were just rolling in the theater. We were just rolling in the theaters for like a solid 2 minutes. Like there's so much like witty banter between Brad Pitt and the young gun, and like that it would just kept you engaged and locked in, like in between the action scenes, and the action scenes were just great. I love that one scene where he's racing at the beginning and there's just like fireworks going off as he's like as they're like driving down the straightaway. It was pretty wild. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll probably go see it.
Summer
Probably see it.
blockbuster, say the least. Muhammad, if you don't have an AMC with 40X,
There are none.
spend
And-
a couple dollars, go watch it in 40X. I forgot about, like, other than the chair moving, that it spits water at you.
Oh yeah.
And like I thought someone sneezed at first, and then I was like, "Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good here." Because that shit went on my arm. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I looked back immediately,
Oh.
and like I was like, I felt gross for
That's
a
wild.
second.
That's wild.
But-
Nearest.
So, UFC 317. Woo! UFC 317. What a doozy. And I'm going to pat myself on the back.
Okay.
I fucking called it. Well, first and foremost,
What did you call?
Muhammad and
but-
I, we can give each other high fives. No. You and I were 4-1. Right? Because you got whatchamacallit wrong.
I got Oliveira wrong.
Yeah. Or did you get that one wrong?
Listen, all right. I was praying. I was dreaming. I was hoping that some kind of like the rainforest dancing. Someone's gonna do some kind of
Did you
chanting
get
for
that
the
one
gods.
wrong?
I called that one.
Holy
Knockout.
shit!
That was wild.
God,
Ooh.
Jesus.
Destroyed.
I
feel bad.
Listen, Dana White's upset. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw that.
About Oliveira?
No, about Patty coming into the ring.
Really?
Yeah. So
Whatever.
So
Get over it.
I
Not
don't
allowed.
think
Can't be doing that.
I don't think Dana wanted Topuria to fight Patty next.
Well, now he has to.
That's why he didn't like it, right?
He's
I
probably
think-
had a plan of building
Patty's
it
gonna
out.
get-
Like
Patty's gonna get mauled, bro.
What?
Patty's gonna
I
get
don't
mauled.
know.
Patty's a scouser, bro.
Scouse. Yeah,
And
we heard it
Scousers
from the
don't get-
Scouser last night. Scousers do, in fact, get knocked out.
but here's the thing. Topuria is Georgian, bro. They are built different.
Yeah, Bill Ford
They
tough.
They
I
are
got it.
Built different.
No,
Built
built
Tough would be like an
fucking
American
tank.
built for like no.
Well, we know some Georgians.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about them. I don't want any bad blood. I don't want any.
Knock-
Knocking on
on
your door. What'd you say about me?
No. So, to listen before it even started, right?
But he's only half Georgian, so I mean, you know.
Before the main card started, RoboCop knocked Jack out. I sent you guys that clip. That was
yeah.
I
That
still
was-
didn't look at it.
that was the start of, because that's the first fight I saw, and then that led into the main event, which the first fight. Let me pull up my screen. Tiblet versus
Talbot versus
Talbot.
Lima.
I don't know why I said Tibbet.
And,
Talbot
and,
versus
Ta- and
Lima.
Talbot put on a masterclass, right? I mean, he took all 3 rounds, right? Was that unanimous decision?
It was
Yeah.
a unanimous decision,
Yeah.
but I had it 29-28. I think the most card has 29-28. I think Lima took round 2, if I'm mistaken. Overall good fight. I don't. Oh no, I think that was, you're right, 30-27. I had
Yeah,
that.
that was the unanimous decision one.
He won every single round.
I didn't even watch the fight, and somehow I knew.
Then, I mean, listen, I people were upset. They had money on Lima. It didn't go their way.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, you know
Um,
who's upset.
Yeah, I know who's upset.
Just vote against Drake every time.
100% win rate.
Dude, I don't know if you saw this, but Drake had what, 200K on Charles.
Yeah, he put a
Yeah, I heard that
$200,000
I heard he was.
bet
Yeah,
on
well,
Charles. Everybody was like, Charles. I was like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah, they call him Darth Vader. You would just fade him. Just fade Drake's bets. So then it led into your boy, right? And
Dariush,
I underestimated him. He looked good. I want to say,
Dariush.
yeah. What did you think about that fight?
I thought it was close. I thought it was going to be a close one on the cards. I think it was pretty close on the cards. I was pretty sure it was 29,
29-28.
All 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it could have went either way, and I thought Dariush just edged it out just a bit with grappling on the ground. I mean, dude kept control on the ground and, came out with the dub.
Oh, that's the one where Renato. No. Oh yeah.
I mean,
He won the first round, and Dariush
got
won
knocked.
the next 2 rounds.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
that's the way I had it. I had it 29-28 for Dariush, and the first round was the round that Dariush got knocked.
He got
down.
knocked. Yeah, he got knocked
so
down. And
that
then-
was the one that I gave to Renato.
Okay.
It was still a close round because he got him on the ground again.
Yeah.
But overall, that's the way I scored it, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of hate, per se, by my pronunciations of said names. So I butchered Dariush's name. That's my bad.
Did you really butcher his name?
Yeah. I forget what I said in the first one, but last episode I butchered it.
The one that you posted, it was like whatever you called it.
Yeah. I don't know what I said.
Yeah,
but then you posted the I love Ira, and I was just being funny. Everybody, it was a ha moment. Okay.
Yeah. But if you listen to the episode, you know why he said that. It's because I add a lot of vowels into that guy's name because I can't say his name because I see all these vowels and I'm overstimulated by vowels. But also, we know if there's anybody out of the three of us that actually knows what the hell they're talking about with MMA, it's Mo. I mean, dude's got a brown belt. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu, one away from black belt. I mean, the dude knows what he's talking about when he's fighting. I'm a former boxing judge, right? So I have done amateur boxing judging. So I have a little bit of insight into that. And, also we are enthusiasts about watching these fights and we've seen these fighters fight. So you can go fuck yourself.
Which then leads to and it's been declared, the fight of the night.
Nice.
The fight of the night.
He got that bonus.
Oh my goodness. What a banger, bro.
Oh man,
they went at it and
they called for it too. He called for it at the end. The loser called for it at the end.
Dude,
he's like, come on.
Listen, Joshua Van does not know Anthony Weber at all.
Oh no.
I can post all I want about Joshua Van. Maybe one day he'll shout me out, but I'm impressed with the kid, man.
Absolutely.
The kid's got not only like when we first started watching the fight, Mo, yesterday, Scotty and I, the first thing Scotty was like, "Yo, Royval's reach is wild in comparison to Van." Like Van looked like Mike Tyson when he was fighting dudes because Mike Tyson's short and always had to overcome like that distance, right?
That's how he was fighting.
And he was countering Royval right from the very beginning. Leg kicks played a factor in it right from the rip. Scotty said that he was built like a horse down there.
Down where? What are we talking? Balls.
What?
No. Scotty,
dude, the dude's got tree trunks. He's standing on tree trunks.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was standing next to Royval, oh my God, bro. I was like, holy shit. I think his leg is twice the size of Royval's leg. Like, holy moly, it was huge.
They're pretty.
But I mean, like he's got to play to his strengths. Like after watching Josh Van fighting, a number of times, I mean, the dude can take a hit. He's got one of the strongest chins I've seen in UFC. Dude, just take I think it was like 3 fights ago. I was like, how is this dude knocked out already? Because he's taking so many freaking hits to the face. It's like another fist. His face. I was like, yeah, what the hell? So I mean, he's got to play to his strengths. Yeah, I mean, he's shorter, and Royval, I don't know if he's just super tall or if that's like the normal size for that weight. But if Josh Van's just like super short for that weight class. But I think Josh Van's probably more average for that weight class, and Royval is just special in the fact that he has that longer reach. But yeah, I mean, he has to play to his strengths. He's got to take those hits so he can get his power shots. Oh my God, power shots into the face of Royval, and Royval could just not handle it.
He did handle it though. Like bro,
that
he
dude
also took shots.
He got knocked around.
But he took it.
And one of the judges called it 30-27 Josh Van.
Yeah, as much as I like Josh Van, I didn't have that. I didn't either. I had Brandon winning round 2. I had Josh winning round 1. It was very, very close up until it wasn't.
Yeah.
In round 3. And Josh
even round I don't. I disagree. Round 3, I thought it was almost a toss up until he knocked him down.
That's what I said. I said it was very, very close up until it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, it was like 10 seconds left and dude got knocked down, and then he just missed his shots trying to knock him out of his hammer fist. I was like, yo, you're hitting the ground, bro. Move a little bit.
He wasn't, yes, the big knockdown was that, but then he kept kicking the leg out.
He did keep kicking the leg out, but that's one significant strike.
Yeah, well, that's that he had like multiple one significant strikes by kicking. He kicked the leg out with a minute to go. He kicked the leg out 3 times, 4 times, and then all of a sudden came that overhand. Yeah,
but you have to. I mean, when you look at the significant strikes, if it wasn't for that last knockdown came with 12 to 15 significant strikes in like 10 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So when you talk about a 5-minute fight, before the knockdown, right? So at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, which is where the knockdown happened, at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, Royval had no extra significant strikes after 4:40, right? The ending, I think it was 62 significant strikes, Royval, and 58 Josh Van. And he got 15 of those in the last 20 seconds. So, I mean, this was like, Royval had overshadowing significant strikes up to 4:40. Right. So I think at that point, Royval was winning that round. If you just look at the numbers, right? If you just look at the numbers.
But even you said you can't look at the numbers.
You can't. And,
it's also about impact.
And a significant strike, right? The damage matters. When you're scoring these things, the damage matters. And if you're doing significantly more damage, it doesn't matter how many significant strikes you threw. If you daze the dude 3, 4, 5 times in a round, like it doesn't matter if you did half the significant strikes. Your significant strikes did way more damage.
Right.
And from all the stats overall, Royval had more strikes in total, but also in the percentage of how many he took and how many landed or did anything, he had a lower percentage than Joshua Van. So he was doing more work, but it was not effective work.
Right.
So
and that's what I meant.
You look like you're being busy, but you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah, but you're talking about efficiency, right? So he may have thrown, let's say he threw 300 strikes, right? But only, 150 of those landed, whereas Josh Van threw, 150 strikes and 70% or 80% landed, right? So efficiency is not as important, but I think, it is important from a stamina perspective, right? But damage, right? And you can't really quantify damage on a chart. That's something the judge has to, perceive, right?
Well, the perception, that's what I'm saying.
What's that?
Kicking, go ahead.
Have you guys seen the way ESPN does it now, where they show if you look at the, if you go to the fight recaps and everything, they show you the body, the body of the fighter, and then they have different color coding for the head, red,
yellow, how many strikes hit those
Yeah.
areas?
But more just a color gradient. So if there was a lot in that area, it's red. If there was not as much, it's yellow. You can see between the two, Josh Van and Brendan Royval's whole body is red. Josh Van's upper body is red at the head because he took the most from the head, and then a couple chest shots, whatever, and then the lower half is yellow. So you can just significantly see more than double the number of leg strikes from Van to Royval.
Oh yeah.
But hats off to him, man, because we said yesterday, he had 3 weeks to prepare for this fight.
Yeah, he went from prelim to beating the number 1 contender.
And now he has a title shot heading into the co-main event this week, which was Pantoja versus Cara France, right? And how did you feel about that fight?
Pantoja, Cara France?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a masterclass on jiu-jitsu. I mean, I don't know if it was specifically jiu-jitsu, but Pantoja, is it jiu-jitsu?
I believe Pantoja jiu-jitsu.
Grappling, I mean, Pantoja just disabled Cara France. Cara France couldn't use his, it was a boring freaking fight. They're just rolling around on the ground for 15 minutes.
It's boring because you don't know what they're doing.
It's boring. It's boring. Yes.
There's nuance to it all.
It would be a Mo fight to watch. Right?
So Scotty, this is.
I like watching them get knocked the hell out.
This is the way I'll put it. Right. This is like you fighting Mo, right?
Yeah.
you're going to want to stand up like Cara France, and
Oh,
Mo's
yeah.
going to want to take you to the ground
Yeah.
and tap you,
Yeah.
right?
And I'm just going to
And-
be bored and just tap. Not even because I need to tap. I'm just bored.
But
All right, you got me on the ground. You got me in a body triangle. Tap. Just
but
let me go.
The art of this and the beauty of this is seeing someone impose their will on the other person, right?
Whatever, man. Sure. Take away your deep thoughts. You can keep them to yourself.
Well, so
I want to see dudes get knocked the hell out.
So-
I want to see Oliveira get knocked the hell out. I want to see Royval get knocked the hell out. I don't want to see this roll around on the ground BS. This is ridiculous.
So during
Majority of
those
fights end up on the
moments
ground.
of the grappling and rolls, I'm not sure if you watch me, but I tense up and I'm sitting there and I hold my breath for I don't know what reason. Like that's gonna change anything. It just happens. I've noticed that I do this and it's fun. I almost pass out on your couch. That's fun for me, I guess. But
Oh, you
Pant-
do that. If we weren't live streaming, you would have done that anyway.
yeah. Oh, stop
Yeah,
it.
I've seen this dude. He's snoring during the main event. I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know about that. I don't remember.
I'm
those.
recording it next
Remember,
time. I'm going
he said he's
live next
old.
time.
You remember he said he's old, you know.
Yeah, I'm old, bro.
He is old. He's
Um,
old. Look at all
yeah,
brave.
but Pantoja masterclass expose Cara France for just being able to impose his will. I want to say,
Yeah, bro. He needs to go to Oliveira's. He needs to go to Oliveira's camp for like 3 years and then come back, Cara France.
I'm going to say that the Van Pantoja fight will probably happen December-ish time frame.
I don't think that's. Is that the thing?
That's the fight.
That's gonna happen?
That's the title fight. That's the title fight that he earned.
What? Whoever won that gets the title
Yeah,
fight?
yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Van is fighting for the title next.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I heard him calling for it. I didn't know that they made it official.
No, that's the fight. That's the fight that's
Wow.
happening.
All right.
So if Royval would have won, it would have been Royval versus Pantoja. But now it's Van versus Pantoja. So
I don't know. I don't like how that's gonna go. I don't like.
So-
It's not 100% confirmed, but they're basically saying that, like, you know, that
Van
would
needs
be
more. Yeah.
that would be the next thing. But also, if he does happen to, well, they said Joshua Van will be the first fighter born in 2000 to fight for UFC Gold if his next match is Pantoja. So
I don't think he's ready
We'll
for
see.
that. I haven't seen Van fight a fight on the ground. I think he did have some good defenses against Royval, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I mean, we'll see. I guess maybe.
So then that leads to the title fight. And that title fight,
The second title fight.
well, the main event. Sorry, you're right.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hey. Hey. No, I'm not done yet. Thanks, buddy.
So then that leads to the main event, which wow. I thought Charles was gonna lose. I didn't think Charles was gonna lose in the first round.
Me neither.
I
knew he was getting
also
knocked out, but
I also didn't think he was I thought that this was gonna be a stoppage, not like someone is waking up back in elementary school. Like,
dude was out.
bro,
He was like, "Where am I?"
my man got hit quick.
Oh,
bro,
The-
he ate his own knee.
yeah, he did. He did. I
He
called
ate
that
his
out
own
last
Yeah,
night
he
too.
did call it out. He folded, ate his own knee. Well, first he took the first shot. He's out. First shot,
Yeah.
he's out. Then came the next shot to put him in the shadow realm, as Joe Rogan likes to say, right?
Who's
The
that
shadow realm.
And then he hits his knee
He
to add
headbutts his
insult
own
to
knee.
injury. And then
Oh.
he hops on him with another 2 or 3 shots.
Oh yeah. Did you see his
Back-
body moving on all those shots? Oh my god, bro.
Bro,
The power behind those shots. Oh,
I-
my God.
Clear size difference too. Like,
bro, the guy has beaten Max Holloway, has beaten Volk, and beat Oliveira the last 3 fights.
Yeah.
I don't know who he fights next,
All by knockouts too.
but that stretch is wild, bro.
Yeah.
And like
McGregor.
I don't think
Whatever.
McGregor wants that smoke, bro.
Patty.
Patty.
Well, Patty is who's getting called up.
O'Malley.
I think him and Patty is going to be a banger because both of them are going to stand. Wow. So this leads to my question for you guys. Would you rather sit in the ring for 5 minutes, and it's one round, 1 5-minute round with Ilia, or with Pantoja, where Pantoja is going to get you on the ground? Like you're on the ground immediately and you have to get out of it, or you're on your feet and you have to go against
Yo,
Ilia.
Pantoja is 125 pounds.
Oh, I see it already. I see it already.
I just don't know if his arms can get around me.
Okay.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, he's like 5 foot tall.
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
Trust.
okay, all right.
You'd be
I mean,
surprised.
I'll
There's
roll
guys
around
at
with
my
that
gym-
dude and just crush his face with my fucking ass.
You think so? You think so? There's guys at my gym.
I mean, first of all,
that are
like
that
this isn't a
size?
realistic situation.
No, it is. It
Well,
is.
maybe for you. I'm not lasting 5 minutes with either of them.
Well, you're getting in the ring
So
and
it's like
it's
breaking my arm because
it's-
that's what's going to
well, you
happen
could tap.
in
You could
less than
tap.
a minute.
He's not
I'll
gonna
just
break
tap
you.
as soon as I get on the ground.
No.
I don't know. No, see,
You
like
can-
the thing is, I saw. What did we saw? We saw Pantoja put his get the body triangle on Car France, right?
and locked.
And locked.
It was
right?
locked.
Dude, his legs are not getting around my waist.
That's okay.
His legs are not getting around my waist. Also, if the dude wants to get on my back, I will just stand up.
Yo,
Literally.
you stand up and you're exposing your neck and you're going to sleep.
Okay, well then I go to sleep. All right, fine. I don't
The
have
point-
to last the whole 5 minutes. I will
Yeah.
toss that dude into the cage. He's 125 pounds.
I love this. I love it so much.
It's
'cause
so entertaining. It's just, I mean, listen.
I was like, oh, where's that corner of the cage? Well, bam! Just like throw him against it.
But you have
Like,
to
I don't
you have to
understand.
get up off of the ground. He already has like you're
I'm not-
starting on
yo,
the ground.
I'm starting on the. I just stand up.
Okay.
125 pounds is. I mean, I know that they make it more difficult, right? But 125 pounds, bro. I deadlift 380.
You don't, you're most likely not going to have your arms to be able to stand up with. They're not, the person's not just on
I
your
don't
back
need
and just,
arms to stand up.
yes, you do. In a
No.
situation like that,
You
yes,
need
you do.
Torso and legs, bro.
No,
Yes.
no. I want to see you get up with your legs
Bro,
like from the ground.
My
normally.
daughters are about half that weight, and I pick them up off the ground while I'm
Your-
seated.
your
Seated
daughters
off
are
the
not
ground without my
trying
arms.
Your daughters are not trying to put you to sleep or to break
Well, I
your
understand that, but I'm just saying I can pick that much weight up from a seated position on the ground.
arms. Yes, seated, not laying prone on your back or on the floor.
Muhammad, do you want to give
I
any
can overhead press this dude.
Mo, do you want to
Like,
give any insight? Because you and Scotty are very similar in size. And Mo rolls, right?
You roll
So-
with 125 pound people
There are guys at my gym that are around that size that beat me.
that beat you?
That beat me.
Oh well.
And I'm not letting them beat me. The point I'm getting
They
at
get
is
the body triangle on you?
not body triangle, but there's levels to this. Like
Yeah.
at that level, I mean, that guy, Cara Fran, like we'll whoop your ass. Like you may think, oh, I can pick him up. No, because there's things that you could do to stop somebody from having balance, to stop somebody from getting up. He's gonna
Yeah.
be pushing into like it's just he's gonna
Alright.
if you break spine stability, you cannot move. So like if the person pulls your head one way and twists your body the other way, you're not gonna be able to just
How much you
stand
weigh, Mo?
up. Me 250.
Oh, you see, I got an extra 20 pounds on you. I'm good.
All right, let's go. We can record it for the pod.
Oh, rolling.
Dude, all I have to do is get up and then do a dive bomb with this dude on my back. My whole body weight on him.
It would
on
be
his
fun for
face.
the
So
views.
you would choose that
knock
option.
him out.
You would choose that option over standing with someone for 5 minutes.
Yeah, then getting hit in the face with like 1,000 pounds of force. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You're not gonna get hit in the
Why not?
face.
In the
You can
face.
run away from them. You can run away from them.
Yeah.
I'm not that fast, and it's an
don't
octagon.
need to.
There's not much room.
But
You can just lay down on the floor.
I think,
I mean, I could just tap immediately too.
No, there's no tapping in a boxing. There's no tapping.
No,
in a
I'm talking
fist
about on the
fight.
ground.
I think
Okay.
I think I'm taking the stand up. I think that there is no shot.
Yeah, I'm not
on
I
taking
think
that
you're
one.
crazy.
I'm not taking.
Well,
that one to the
I take
face.
the stand up over, like, we're looking at like for me to have the chance of winning, right? You have like a chance.
Okay.
I don't think that there is any chance if I'm on the ground and he has me in his mitts. I don't know if I'm able to get up, and I think I'm going to go to sleep, or I'm going to get in a crucifix and I'm going to say uncle, right? I don't think there's any chance.
Yeah, but I don't understand what's the question. Is the question is
You have to
what
make
do
it
you
out.
think you'll be
Survival.
most
Yeah, you have
successful
to
at?
make it out. You have to make it out,
Oh,
and
oh,
then
oh.
you, then
I
you.
mean, okay, yeah. I mean,
then
I
you-
guess I could survive 5 minutes standing up. I think I would have a better shot. No, I'd have a better shot on the ground. I was just saying, like, what will hurt less? Because I mean, there's no shot. There's no shot at success.
Yeah.
In my opinion, there's no shot at success in either fight, right? So,
well, I mean, no, there's not.
yeah, I mean, maybe one's 0.00001 and the other one's 0.00011, right? Like maybe that's the difference in chance, but like I'm not surviving either of them.
I am.
I would
always,
just prefer to go to sleep than get hit in the face with one of those fists.
From what I
You know
hear,
what I mean?
going to sleep is like a nice nap. I was told like it's like a 30-second nap. It's a
Yeah,
nice
it's
like
good.
you,
Yeah, it
you
feels
sleep
good.
for 30 minutes and it's like you're only out for like 30 seconds, but it feels like you took a 30-minute nap.
Yeah, it'll be the most restful sleep you've ever had.
I always want. I always
After the
want
pain.
to have a fighter's chance, and I don't think I have a fighter's chance on the ground, which then leads to the next "Would you rather" question.
Dive bomb.
Or not
Like I
"Would
said,
you rather"
dive bomb.
question.
So
I guess
I
that
would-
wraps up UFC 317. Unless anyone has any closings.
I would because I already know I would take the ground option with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because
But at the same time, Topuria, like with jiu-jitsu, we do self-defense
yeah,
too. I'm not saying that's going to help me with the elite level striker because
Do you guys do
chances
punching
are
and
I'm going to
kicking
get knocked
too,
out.
or
Huh?
do you guys do punching or kicking?
Well, no kicking really, but like we do like, you have to do self-defense. Like we do self-defense. So like there's punching, there's blocking from punches,
Okay.
there's
Yeah,
like counters, there's things that we do to like, close the distance, stuff that you do, for example, because most of the time a fight starts standing up.
Right.
And then like, you don't want to be within striking range of somebody. You either need to be outside of striking range or close enough that their hits aren't going to really do anything to you. And that's where like the whole closing the distance thing
Okay.
comes into play and like,
Yeah.
your guard and whatever. So yeah, we do that pretty regularly. It's kind of like a fundamental piece of like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't know, like elite level striker, guy's going to fuck you up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not saying I'm leaving that ring unscarred or awake, but
Those weapons are registered, bro.
But,
They're registered.
I know. Oh, trust me, I know they're registered.
Man.
I saw 1, 2, 3 TKOs from Ilia to understand that the chance of me going night is at a very high probability, but me understanding the level of jiu-jitsu that Pantoja has and just the ability to like lean his will. Like I have no wrestling skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
I've been in fights where I've used my hands before. So I'm going to go that option.
Sure, man.
That's the option I'm going to go with.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Because if I want to try to make it out of 5 minutes, I have to go with what I know. against what I don't. And going on the ground against somebody that is going to expose me really, really bad. I'm not saying I'm not going to get exposed the other way, but at least I can block.
I don't really care about my image. I mean, I just care about not taking pain.
Well,
expose me.
I don't think either option is going to give you no pain.
Oh, I didn't say no pain. I said less pain. Less pain, right? Going to sleep versus taking a fist from freaking Ilia, no thanks.
Yeah, I agree with the pain aspect.
I would prefer my skull to be in one piece.
Well,
definitely less pain and
the
shorter
next
amount of pain.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
You're good.
The next question I have is, what is the deadliest animal you can get in the ring with, like old school Roman Empire kind of thing, and survive?
Deadliest animal.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. Red panda.
Red panda.
Gonna fight a red panda. They're cute.
Yeah.
Garfield.
It's also my spirit animal. Red panda.
I don't know, dude. Like, that's... What do we have to fight them with?
Life
Bare
or death.
hands? Bare
hands?
Life or death? Bare hands?
Just whatever you can get. Like, pick a stage. You're in a circle street, like wherever you want to be. It could be in the middle of the woods, and it's blocked off in a certain point. It could be just in the middle of a coliseum.
Yeah, but do we have weapons?
Whatever you can grab.
What is there available to grab?
Bare hands, let's just say.
Okay.
Bare hands or a rock. I don't know. But this thing is coming at you, so you have moments to figure something out. Do you take a jungle cat? Do you take a bear?
I'm fighting a bear.
Bear beats Battlestar Galactica.
Do you think you have greater than a 50% chance of beating a bear?
Depends what kind of bear, but probably not.
Black bear is
know what
probably.
Yeah, black bear, brown grizzly. Yeah, black bear you probably have higher chance than a grizzly, because grizzly will just. I mean, they're just fucking. Nasty.
Yeah, did you see Leo? Leo got fucked up, bro.
Bro, that's. Like, let's
Fighting a black bear would be like fighting like me or Wiz or you. I think they're like 350 pounds, maybe 400 pounds. Black bears.
Yeah,
brown bears are like 6. They will
Yeah.
rip you up, dude. They will toss you like a rag doll. And that's why I feel like I would be all right with Pantoja, because dude's like half my weight. Brown bear's like twice our weight.
I mean, listen, you're talking deadliest animals. Like, there's different kind of deadliest animals. I think I could take a snake.
I'm with
Like,
you.
if we want to talk about deadliest animals, there are snakes that are more deadly than a bear. So, like, yeah, I think I could take a snake.
Well, there's
I just would
spiders
not-
that
I
are
just-
more deadly than snakes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it could be anything. What's the
Camel spider.
deadliest animal up to a certain point, right? You have snake, then you have levels above a snake. So if a snake is where you're at, that's where you're at. Like a mongoose can beat a snake, right? But a mongoose can't beat a bear, right?
I'm pretty sure you could take a mongoose easily.
Well, I know that one of us could probably take a mongoose, sure. But
Yeah.
there are levels to like
Yeah.
the deadliest thing, right? I'm not going to say I could take a shark in the water, right? Because
What kind of shark?
does it
Nurse shark?
There's
I could take a nurse shark.
Does the nurse shark have no teeth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's got very like little.
Yeah, I think
so what are you saying?
I
Also
think
really small.
I'm gonna go bear. I think black bear is the deadliest
Black bear.
animal I think I can probably take. I mean, unless I'm stuck, a cat maybe, but they're quick,
Like a tabby?
dude. No, yeah, like a tabby, like a little house cat.
Little
I
orange
could
tabby.
definitely take a house cat.
Yo, have you
bro.
seen these Scottish cats, bro?
Scottish cats?
No.
Yeah, bro. It's like I don't know if it's like not country, but it's like their cat. It's like this freaking big, dude. It's huge. It's like a little bear.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Look it up.
I saw this
Oh my
woman
God.
that had a cat the size of like a small mountain lion in her house, and like
Are you
she
sure it
has a
wasn't
whole
a small
bunch
mountain
of
lion?
what?
Are you sure it wasn't a small mountain lion?
I mean, it might have been, but it lives in her house with her, and I'm like, that thing is one like
Yeah, they have these
like
crossbreeds.
one issue away from making you no longer.
Yeah, you can get like these Bengal cats. They're called Bengal cats. They're like they're crossbred, and they basically take a house cat and a Bengal, and they crossbreed them down to like three, 4 generations, and they're like
I don't like it.
$15,000 or something to buy one.
I don't like it.
It's wild.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That's some.
I think I know what you're talking. The Scottish, the wildcat, the Scottish wildcat.
Yeah, I think so.
They look almost like leopard. Like they're like striped almost.
Yeah, they have stripes, and they're like, but they look kind of like house cats.
Yeah, because apparently they've
huge.
like crossbred with house cats.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's crazy.
there goes that. The next question I have for you guys: is there a double standard? Sexual double standard.
This is a hot topic.
I mean, there just is. I mean, everybody knows it. It's very apparent, right? That, if women are more promiscuous with regard to partners, that they're seen a different type of way versus a guy. I mean, that's how I grew up. That's how it looked when, in my group of friends. And, I mean, multiple people have talked about this as being the case in our society, at least in America.
Do you agree with the double standard?
I don't know.
All right,
I don't really look at other partners. I've been married. I've been with my wife longer than I have been without.
Yeah, let's paint a better picture. You're single, and you find out the woman that you're courting has triple-digit sexual partners. Does that change something for you?
Yeah.
Need more context.
Statistically,
was recently, so more recently.
Statistically speaking, there's a correlation to people that have had higher partners and cheating / infidelity. So there's
the truth? But that's for both men and women, right?
I believe so. Yeah, there's a direct correlation to people because I think it's like a psychological thing where you kind of it becomes more normal for you to be seeking the variety and the fact that like you nothing really worked with one individual person, so it's now like you're not in that mindset of there being just one person. It's now like a breadth of variety, a breadth of differences, and you're not tied to a single person. So I mean, listen, as far as thinking it's okay or agreeing with it or not, I mean the best analogy we can use to explain this is if you get a cup of water and you get a dirty hand and you take a hand that's been in dirt, right? And you take the finger from that hand that's been in dirt and you stick it in that cup of water and you take it out. The hand is clean, but the cup of water stays dirty. Now, if you take 100 different hands with fingers that are dirty and you stick it into a cup of water, that cup of water stays dirty, the hands get clean.
There's analogies on so many levels here.
The analogy there is more so that, like,
no, I'm saying there's a lot of analogies going on with this example here.
The
fingers going into water.
The dirty aspect of it is not so much. The dirty aspect of it is not so much that like dirty, but it's the idea that when you put something into something else, that one thing is going into it, whereas the other thing is having something gone into it. And if there's a lot of different things going into that one thing, as opposed to that one thing going into a lot of different things, the thing that's having a lot of things going into it is less favorable, we'll say. Obviously, that's kind of a very simplified manner for it. I'm gonna get a lot of heat on this. I'm sure
you're taking a real hard stance right here, Mohammed. Jesus,
no,
so you're agreeing with the stereotype. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, yeah, like I think part of the issue is there's a lot more to it. It's not so much just a strictly physical thing. it's the psychological ramifications of that, of that being the case, like of having a ton of partners. There's a psychological ramification to it that people I don't think are giving enough weight to, because that's, if you look at the dating scene now, if you look at a lot of the issues that are resulting from it, it's from like online dating, it's from hookup culture. People are no longer looking at it from a point of like finding someone to spend their life with, to build their life with. They're like, okay, well, I can just hook up with a ton of people if I'm on these apps. And then it's like, when you shift your focus to like, see, I can hook up with a ton of people on these apps, you lose sight of the whole, like, okay, well, I want to build something with somebody. Instead, it's getting people that are on there that are just like looking to hook up. And then when you have people on there that have different expectations out of it, or want to have a different life, like say you have a girl on there that doesn't want to just sleep around and do whatever. On the other side, you have a guy on there that knows, okay, I can give girls at this level attention, and I know for a fact that they're going to think, that they're going to want to sleep with me, because they're going to feel that, like say this guy is like, we'll use a number rating scale. Say this guy's like an 8 or a 9 or whatever. He can give attention to a 5 or a 6, and they're going to think, oh my God, this is so great. And then he's likely going to get what he wants from them and then just discard them. And then it leads to these like power imbalances, and the fact that from that and online dating, it ends up with women just end up sleeping with more men. And then they have higher numbers. And then as that goes on, it like, makes them jaded, or like leads to other issues, which then further cause the problem of not finding somebody, because you have all this other bullshit that happened from previous people. So yeah, higher numbers, I think, lead to issues with like long-term relationships. I don't know, that wasn't the question, but it's
no, I mean, it plays a factor into the question.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree. It's an interesting topic because yes, you're sticking something in and it's coming out as opposed to someone receiving something, right?
Yeah.
But where, I'm not trying to hold my words. I'm just trying to figure out a way to explain my thought process. Is there a difference if Tom has 20 partners and Becky has 20 partners? Is there a reason why Tom should feel any sort of way if he has equal the amount of partners? And 20 could be a lot when you're talking about someone in their young 20s.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to someone in their 60s with 20 partners, it's a little bit different, right? Because there could have been a lot of long-term relationships there that just didn't last for whatever reason. And there's other concepts behind that, right? Like, well, why didn't these relationships last? Like,
it's all very nuanced, though.
Right.
It's always going to come down to a matter of personal preference, right? Anybody can say they feel okay with whatever it is. It could be each of them having 20 partners, fine. If they feel okay with that, they feel okay with that. And it's also, you can't then sit there and look at yourself and say, oh, I've had 20 partners. That person, they have 20 partners. That's horrible. That's disgusting. That's like, it's not the case. But it's just, if you look at it from the viewpoint, a girl that has had more partners is going to be looked at less favorably than a guy that has had more partners, simply because of what I mentioned before. Not simply, it's not like a blanket statement that's, generalized everybody agrees with, but with that mindset or that mentality, that's going to be the case. Like, they're going to be looked at in a different way.
I agree, but I disagree. And this is why I disagree, and this is what I was trying to say. I think both are the same. I think socially, men get looked at as one way, right? Like, he has a key that can unlock multiple locks, where a woman, she has the ability to not allow a key to unlock the lock, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a master key where you're unlocking a lot of locks, sure, but that doesn't change.
I think that analogy just leads into, you just like set yourself up for.
But that doesn't change the value.
Dude, the way he sees things is wild.
But that doesn't change value, right? It doesn't, because the
master key.
woman has to value the man just like the man has to value the woman. Just because
Okay.
it's socially okay
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that the value is different.
Okay.
The
here's a
value is only
question.
different in perspective of the person.
Yeah. Here's a question. Which lock is more valuable? A lock that can be opened by 1,000 people, or a lock that can only be opened by one person?
Well,
The one that can be unlocked by one
the
person.
one that can only be unlocked by one person. But then
Okay,
but then the woman can sit there and say, "I don't want a dirty key."
That's fine.
So the value is in the value. So what I'm saying is the double standard is that it's okay. The perception is it's okay for a man to have multiple partners, but not a woman. But that's from a societal perspective, and
Yeah,
us
I agree.
congratulating the man from being able to do that.
I don't know about that.
Huh?
I said I don't know about if it's congratulating the man
Well,
for being able to do that.
what else is it? Like if you're saying it's okay, and you're saying that there isn't a double standard, right? That well, there is a double standard where it's acceptable for the man to have multiple partners, but not the woman. I disagree. I think it's unacceptable for both parties because the value's in value, right? So if
I wasn't saying that it's acceptable or not acceptable. I was just saying the
well,
sentiment
socially, it's
behind
not
it.
you, but socially acceptable.
Yeah.
So socially acceptable.
Is it though? There are studies that when a woman is looking for a hookup, they look for a more bad boy, and there are studies when they're looking for a longer relationship, they're not looking for bad boys. That's what it is, right? Like those studies show, if I'm looking for a quick hookup, it's going to be for a bad boy. If I'm looking for stability and long-term relationships, I'm not looking for a bad boy. So from the woman's perspective, and I'm not a woman, I don't know. I'm just going off of something I heard, and don't quote me on it. But from a woman perspective, there is a stigma about people who have multiple partners, right? And if you're a bad boy, you're automatically assumed to have had multiple partners, and like that stereotype is already placed on you even if you haven't had multiple partners. So like we're men, so that's why we see this stigma of like, yeah, if a woman's had multiple partners, then this is a bad thing. But like my bro who's getting it all the time, good for him, bro, good for him. But then like also there are studies that show that people who have had multiple partners are larger risk takers, right? So do you want to be with a risky person if you're looking for long-term stability? No, right? So I don't whatever from a man's perspective, and then we can start talking about like this can go into a really deep rabbit hole right now, and I'm about to bring it there. But
I'm about to bring it there.
like our world has been built by men, right? So like we're only seeing this, and even women are sometimes seeing this, right? Society that was built by men that is biased towards men's thinking, right? To talk about how, right, like this is okay for men but not okay for women, but women have a totally different perspective on it, right? So I like to say, is it right in society or is it not? That's your society that you think from a bias that's been created from a biased opinion, right? To say, well, this is what society says. No, this is what society says to you, right? So now we're not even talking about the subject matter of whether there's a double standard or whether the double standard is okay. Now we're talking about, is our society built properly, right? And the way the society is perceived. And then we go into individualism. Okay, now is individualism okay? Because you see the world as one way, whereas somebody else sees the world as a different way, right?
Well,
So I think this all has to do with the circles you have around yourself, the society you have around yourself, the things you choose to perceive as real for you versus what is real for everyone. And so,
well, I also think
mic
that
drop. I'm done.
I think that was a really good point. I think you had a lot of
Yeah.
good points there.
A lot of nuance.
I still feel like part of the issue, right, with men, and I think some of it could be women, right, is we look for comfort. And when we're looking for comfort, some of it is having to do with our own issues that we haven't been able to work through. So we look for that in something else, right? You look at a man who
That's a problem for you.
I think it's a problem in general.
Okay.
When you look
I
at
mean, you can project that onto everybody else. Sure.
what I mean by that is I'm not talking about you, Scott. I'm talking about the man who's out in the club 5 days a week trying to take home something.
Yeah, well,
and
he's living in
taking
the
home-
wrong place, probably.
and taking home multiple different things, right? Or constantly just
Women.
going in, women, or men, or whatever it is. that
Oh,
you
let's
want.
just call it what it is. So everybody has trauma, and they're trying to overcome their trauma.
That's not what I'm
come-
saying.
Let's just,
Okay.
just.
I get what you're
Grab that.
saying. Some people, the result is because they're finding that comfort in whatever that is, and
They're
not
searching
working
for
for you.
something in someone else, not something in for themselves, right? Where it's easier to do that than to confront the person in front of them, right? And at the end of the day, right, sexual liberation, however you want to call it, has that affected the relationships that are happening today and marriages for the future, right? Divorce culture is something that's common right now. Why? Why is that common? Why is it so normalized to go through these levels of divorce and not stick with one partner the way things were done in the past? And part of it is because just they're not being fulfilled in some sort of way, right? But
No.
some of that is
I think there's a
them-
much bigger, deeper.
I think it's
issue
the
to that.
erosion of family values. It's the erosion of the society and of what families are and what they're supposed to be. I think it's the erosion of the idea of what it means to be in a relationship. I think it's a number of political things, a number of societal things that we keep pushing, like all these movies that we get to see now of like, oh yeah, these people find true love and that's what love is supposed to be. And it's like, yo, these people met like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You're watching a movie of people who just met 2 months ago and they're in love, and then this guy is doing everything and this girl is doing everything, and they're all trying to do it. Like, no, this is just Hollywood BS or whatever, and people have these fantasies about what life actually is. Bro, we go back 100 years. Life was work. Life was work. We have all these comforts in our lives, and it gets a little bit hard, and people quit.
yeah.
And that goes down to more than just what is a family, what is this, what are family values, what love is, what a real relationship is. That goes way deep, right? We're a society built on instant gratification. Instant gratification, if it's not there, it's over, right? I quit. I play another game. I watch another movie. If I don't like this, I get to pick. 100 years ago,
fuck another eclair.
100 years ago, there was one movie playing at the theater. Just one. You didn't have options.
And that builds on to the whole online dating and
Yep.
whatever it is,
Yep.
leading to the overabundance of choice and thinking that there's a better option coming. And the other piece that you pointed out, it's like hard times. So like we're in a cycle of it's been good times for so long that people have lost sight of like a lot of the important stuff and what life is supposed to be, and not so much the idea that, okay, like you said, everything instant gratification, all this stuff. Like, you know, when you have the time for all these things and people don't really get the full gravity of like what life is, you know, at the end of the day, I think I briefly talked about this before. If I didn't talk about this, then I'll bring it up again now. Like, you need to have a certain number of babies and you need to have a certain number of things in order to replace the population. And if you look at over in Europe and other places, it's across the whole world. And some of it's because of globalization, like the whole thing where like, you know, removing borders, removing all that stuff leads to just throwing everything out of whack. But like, if you don't have enough kids, you don't replace the population. If you don't replace the population, humanity dies off. Cultures die off. Things die off. And some of that comes from the reason why is like the whole idea of a family is to have someone to support, like to have a family that they each have their own roles in it, whether it's the man that is the caregiver or the woman that's the caregiver, however it is in whatever situation you have, a role that allows for the child to be able to grow up and then continue the human race. That is what life is at its core. The idea that, oh, we're now like everything should be art and we should have time to do all this stuff and whatever. Life as it is or as it was, sure, everyone could say, oh, we want this to advance, we want to have better options, we want to do all these things, you know, that's 2025, we should be able to do all this. At the end of the day, unless you're trying to do some transhumanism stuff where you're like, want to incorporate us with robots and then that's the next evolution of humans, for people to continue, you need to have a family, like a family where there's someone that's going to take care of the kids that cannot be taken care of themselves and then grow up with the same values to then further the population. And if you don't have that, everything collapses. And if you start getting rid of the nuclear family, that leads to all the other issues. There's crime issues that are tied to not having a stable home. There's all these things that just compound the issue. And it stems from what Scotty was saying. It's like eroding family values, eroding like the nuclear family. Like these changes lead to a lot of these other issues that we're having.
Well, that was a good topic. I think I really enjoyed that conversation. I did. I really did.
Okay.
I did.
And it's not where it started from. It's not, obviously.
No. I mean, I want to go further into this, but I have a hard stop, and we have two things that we need to touch on. So, I want to pick this up because I think talking about family values is something that we can dive deeper in. Scotty, I look up to you. You and Magda have been through a lot, and you guys are still together. And you guys are building your family, and you guys have been together for what, 8 years? No, what? Married.
We've been
15?
married for 14 years.
14 years.
14.
My bad.
And we've been together for 18.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
And you're starting off like in a nice relationship. You guys have found something and building upon it. That's amazing in itself. And all of these journeys are amazing. So I want to dive deep into this because I think there's a lot to talk about.